This podcast is brought to you by the Black and Mild Invitational, where winners go to win. The BPGA. Without it, there is no golf. One Masterminds Group, where we're here to hear. A special thanks to Sapelo Hammock Golf Course and all of our silver and platinum sponsors. And without further ado, let's get started with KJ Knows Best. Hey there, listeners, and welcome to KJ Knows Best, the #1 podcast for all things Black and Mild Invitational. I am your interim host, Corey Coleman, and it is my honor and privilege to be here with you to take you down a magical ride to the Bluff. 2019 BMI. Wow. Think about it. It's yet to happen. The memories are yet to be made. How great a weekend that'll be. A couple of housekeeping notes. Please make sure to follow our social medias at BPGA on Instagram and One Masterminds Group on Instagram and Twitter. Also, please subscribe to our Spotify account at One Masterminds Group. It's really close to my heart in particular. Getting those out of the way. This year is important to go ahead and let me get the biggest storyline off the table at the beginning of this episode, because like you already hear, KJ, Kyle Porcher, is not here. You might be asking what the hell is going on. Why the fuck am I listening to Corey talk? This is bullshit. I'm going to go ahead and turn this shit off right now. But as you know, Kyle had a beautiful baby girl, Nora Rain. And what a blessing that is in his life. And with his new addition to his family, you know, we got to pick it up in his absence. So I am unfortunately here for you guys. You know, I know it's going to be a down year with the KJ Knows Best because obviously we all listen and we come here for KJ. But I hope with your help, your support, that this can be one of the best KJ Knows Best to date. So without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and start calling some of our participants and getting some point of views, some tips, and some insight for this year's BMI 2019. I hope you enjoy.
Hey, dude.
Hello, Kyle. How are you today?
What's up?
I was wondering if you had a spare 5 to 10 minutes.
When? Now?
Right now.
Yeah, probably do. I was going to be closer to 10. Or 5.
5 minutes?
Huh?
5 minutes? That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Let me get somewhere. No one can hear me. Are you recording right now?
Yeah.
Who you with?
Just myself.
Nice.
Got to pick up your slack.
Yeah, sorry, man. I didn't do great, though. I didn't do great.
How's Nora?
But actually, she's good, man. She's doing well. Aaron's breastfeeding her right now.
Nice. How's her tit look?
Good.
Good.
Strong.
Strong tit. Have you got any milk yet?
No, I have not.
Is that something that's on the agenda?
Maybe. Thinking about trying that. But we'll see.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, Kyle, but I felt that it was necessary to get a couple words from you today. And obviously about the BMI, about having a newborn baby. Let's go ahead and start off with Nora. Tell the listeners, you know, what that experience is like. What's the, you know, third, fourth day of fatherhood like for you?
man, it's been good, dude. I mean, it's obviously a whole next level of exhaustion and just complete difference in living your life before having a baby come into the world. But it's been good, man. It's been eye opening. All the little firsts, driving home, adding another person, and then walking in the house for the first time. It's been surreal, honestly. So, besides a little bit of lack of sleep and getting diapers changed, it's been pretty good. Off work this week, be off work next week, which is nice. So, yeah, man, I'm just trying to be the best dad I can be right now. So far so good.
Well,
So far so good.
I think I have the whole community's support by saying we know you're going to be a great dad, and we're excited for you. If there's anything we can ever do, we're here for you. You actually kind of already touched on my first question that I had written down for you. You getting much sleep right now?
Yeah, I mean, last night was pretty tough. So we've only been home one night.
Right.
Got probably maybe 4 hours sleep last night, which was more than the hospital. But still, man, when you're dead asleep and you hear those cries and it's you look at each other and you're like, oh man, it's it's serious the first time going through something like that. So no, not a ton of sleep, but today, like, I haven't been really wanting a nap at all. That could easily change. We've had some help so far. Aaron's mom has been down helping out, but I try to be at least present each time because I know she's not gonna remain here. So
right.
Whether I'm breastfeeding, which I'm not doing currently, or just just sitting from the sideline, I'm trying to be there as much as possible. So hopefully with time, I'll be able to get more sleep and maybe even eventually get out to the range one of these nights and pick up where I left off in my golf career. So
yeah, and that's a good segue. Obviously having
that's why I did that, Corey.
I know. You mean you're a true professional. It's easy to tell. With that being said, obviously you're going to be missing out on the 2019 BMI. Are you sad for that? Give us your emotions, of missing that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the quick answer is yes. Yeah, definitely upset about missing it. I mean, when you're missing the best event the entire year, it's always going to weigh on you a little bit. But honestly, it hasn't been as bad as I thought. Kind of being closer to closer to Aaron's due date, it's been actually easier for me to realize that I'm going to be missing it. I mean, this has been talked about way long ago that I knew it was something I was going to be missing. So it's made it easier. Try to stay off Instagram a little bit, especially the BPGA page, and obviously I'm not in any kind of group text. Group texts have died down. So honestly, man, like, I can sit here and say it's been really, really tough, and it certainly has, but definitely not as bad as I thought it would be.
Right.
And I'm happy for you guys. The tournament sounds like it's going to be greater again, which is no surprise. It's the same. That's how it is every year now. Keep adding different things to the tournament, which makes it better and better. And so I'm stoked for you guys. I'm just excited to tune in, hopefully, and get an opportunity to hopefully watch somehow. But if not watch, definitely be eager to get the text on who won. What happened. So
yeah, no, we're hearing that Fox is in talks with us to broadcast the event live this year. So
wow, fake news. That's amazing.
Well, more 20th century Fox, but
Gotcha.
different category. Anyway, I just have 3 real quick questions for you, Kyle. I know that you have fatherhood to go deal with, so don't want to take up too much of your time. Just gonna run through these really quickly. First off, what do you think about the teams, and who is your front runner?
I think the teams are pretty good, man. I mean, it's the strongest. It's like I just said, if it's getting better each year, the field keeps getting stronger and stronger. The teams are all great. Last year I think whatever I thought, I think it was pretty different from what we were thinking on air and what we were saying, even asking the captain. So you really truly never know.
Right.
Who's ever going to be coming in there relaxed? Not maybe it's built a little chemistry since the draft, and who's ever really swinging it well, man. So I mean, I think the teams are fairly even. I think maybe a slight advantage to Adam's team. I think he's got a pretty good squad. I think they're all good teams though. Blake, obviously, you have to worry about. He's the defending championship,
right.
Or he's the defending champion, and they've got a strong little team with first timers Parker Dupont and Matt Sweat. So maybe that having two people have never played in the BMI. But I guess Matt hasn't played in a minute. It might affect some things.
Huge disadvantage.
So you never know. But I would say those two teams probably. And then, after that, man, it's who really knows?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be close again. But I don't really see anyone really losing by several strokes. But again, you just never know.
Right. So with that being said, I want you to give me the team that you think has the least chance of winning it, Kyle. We're going to get down to the gritty.
The least chance of winning.
Yeah. I can riddle off the teams if you want me to. I can go ahead and give you the team that you're supposed to say. Mark Harris, Mark O'Leary, Joey G, Sam Leon. That's the team that has no chance in my opinion.
I think that team's pretty solid, but yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if them, to be honest, your team.
Yeah, our team could crumble.
I think you combined, Gordy and Paul have to be probably not having the most pressure going into the tournament, but have to step up the most to have a pretty good chance on Saturday. So I think you guys. I know. I mean, here knows the course. It's his second BMI. Joey G, first timer. He's got to step up. But I'd say, yeah. I mean, you're probably right in the first part of the question. I'd say that team or your team.
Right.
But again, I don't think Blake and Dean and Colin and Cam got that much respect last year, and look what they did. So
it's very true. Very true. Yeah. And Kyle, we're gonna leave you on this last question. What's one piece of advice you would give to any of the participants this year without you being there? Just some words of advice to say goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no advice. You don't even have to be expecting anything. You're be ready to go down, have an unbelievable time Friday night. Not sure if the vast majority are getting there Thursday again, but earlier the better. You can't get there too early. You've got incredible hosts out of Emily Davis and Andrew Davis down in the Bluff. It's the best thing we do each year for the first timers. Something you're never going to want to miss again, and hopefully you get the invite year after this. And just be ready to swing on Saturday. Have fun Friday night, but don't get too out of hand. And hopefully the security will be better this year at the tournament, which I've heard they've hired a security guard 24/7. So that should really help. But just have fun, man, and be ready to go Saturday. The nerves definitely get going when everyone huddles around the first tee, but try to keep yourself calm and wake up and feel good and go out there and win that jacket.
Love that. Bonus question for you, Kyle. What team's gonna have the best team uniform?
Ooh. Team uniform. Blake and them always drop something creative, but
they probably spent $250 on an outfit.
Yeah, I mean, I love uniforms and looking our best to play out there. So I won't go with him because that's the easy answer. I'll say maybe Poe's team.
Yeah.
Maybe Poe's team. Dark Horse would definitely be maybe your team. and can't wait to see what Butters' team's wearing. I just love that team so much. Butters and Bruce, and then Cuts, and who's the last one on their team?
Lower.
Natty?
Yeah.
Lower? Yeah, that's whatever they wear. Just give them the award. So, yeah.
Well, like always, Kyle, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your daughter. Tell Aaron we say hello, and have a good day and get some sleep, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Have fun.
See you, bud. Well. This podcast is brought to you by the Friends of Shellman Bluff. Are you looking for a good community? A great time? A great place? Come on down to Shellman Bluff. Bat bait. Do you got a bat? Well, we got the bait. Don't mix them together. It might masturbate. Pre-sap laddies. What else you gonna hit? A shoe? And welcome back to KJ Knows Best. Andrew Davis, hello and welcome to KJ Knows Best. How are you, sir?
Welcome. I'm good, buddy. I'm driving back from Augusta National actually right now.
Holy shit! Did you get some tips and tricks from down there?
Let's just say I'm doing a little bit of scouting, some BMI prep. We might be moving locations next year.
Wow, that's incredible news! Breaking news on KJ Knows Best. Possibility of 2020 being in Augusta Nationals. Absolutely massive news. We're going to hit that on the Instagram page real quick. Get that thing moving. Andrew.
Get the sirens out, baby. Get the sirens out.
Andrew, in preparation for 2 weekends from now, what are you doing down on the bluff? What is going on? Tell me your head thought. What's going on down there?
So I've got 20 bales of pine straw coming next Wednesday. We're going to lay down some fresh pine straw. I'm going to pressure wash the back deck and the back patio. There's a lot of pollen on the ground that is unsightly, and I don't want that to be the case for our certainly for our first-time guests, but for everybody. So we're going to pressure wash the back deck. We have a tent rental that's coming, thanks to the Law Dog, Gordon Van Remen, so there'll be a nice tent set up for all of our attendees. But in regards to my golf game, I've been playing golf just about every weekend at Sapelo. Course is in amazing shape. They actually have a web.com tour event this week, actually starting tomorrow.
Huge.
So the course is in insane shape. The parking lots are paved. The bridges are redone. The greens are better than they've ever been before. So, I mean, the course has been an absolute dream to play. Tournament conditions are in full effect. And, I've just been working on my game, man. I'm really trying to add, 10 to 20 yards off the tee. Really trying to get my ass into the ball.
Right.
It's not really working. But I've been focused on adding 20 yards of distance off the tee and then really trying to get my flat stick rolling. My flat stick is one of a kind, and if it's on, it's on. But if it's off, my God, is it off?
Right. No, and the flat stick is definitely a must at the BMI. That kind of brings me to my next question, Andy. You obviously are the most knowledgeable person on Sapelo, and what's going to be the key factor for a team to bring home that trophy? Obviously, I don't want you to give anything huge away from your team and your advantage there, but especially for the first time participants, what's something that they should really be focusing on and honing in on moving forward to the BMI?
Are so fucking tough, and they're tougher than they were last year because they're not trimming the goddamn marsh.
Jesus.
The marsh monster is so tall.
Oh, God.
That, it's like I've been playing pretty good golf, and I just step up to these par threes on number 8, number 17, and number 14, and it's just like I know that I'm gonna fucking double bogey.
Right.
So I mean, the par threes are just gonna be
Wow.
I mean, they're so deep and they're so tough outside of the first par three on the front nine, but the rest of them are just so fucking tough that that's where the tournament's going to be won, in my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that knowledge. I think everyone should be getting out to the range and, getting ready for those par threes. I will say that hole 17 is my favorite hole on Sapelo Hammock. Beautiful backdrop. The marsh in front. It's a winner take all hole. And
people's 5-irons are going to have to be so dialed in.
Right.
If you can't hit a 5-iron, or if your 5-iron's off, it might be time to start working on it.
What's the distance to that par three?
So 17 on the card runs about 162.
Wow.
But in reality, I don't have a rangefinder.
Right.
I played enough to know that that's not right. Like most of the holes on Sapelo, it really runs about 175.
Okay.
Especially for where the tee boxes are right now. So it's deeper than what the scorecard reflects. And again, you can't hit it short. So there's really nowhere else to go with it but on the green, and to land it in the center of the green is probably 175.
Wow. That's insight knowledge you'll only get from KJ Knows Best, guys. Andy, so I know that we have the newest addition to the BP family in Nora Rain.
Nora Rain.
Absolutely beautiful. And I just wanted to, if the listeners didn't know, Emily is also pregnant with your first. And, with that being said, any special requests, anything accommodation-wise that any of the participants should know beforehand, before coming down to the bluff with, Emily, or, just want to ask that question.
Funny that you're asking. I'm going to comment on Nora Rain real quick.
Yeah.
My God, is that a Porsche or is that a Porsche?
I mean, it looks identical to Kyle. Saw the picture, and me and Alexis just looked at each other and go, well, definitely Kyle's kid.
They can cross Kyle as the father off. I mean, that's a fucking slam dunk. My God, a Porsche. Those Porsche genes are real. But it's funny that you asked that question, because yesterday when I got home from Augusta, I was talking to Emily, and she said that she slept poorly, and I said, well, why'd you sleep poorly? And she said, well, I had a dream that people were speeding through the neighborhood and they hit one of our neighbor's kids. she's been having terrible nightmares ever since this pregnancy, which is concerning. I mean, just like crazy off the wall shit.
Right.
But that literally kept her up at night. So the only request that she's made is that we're conscious of the neighbors don't give a fuck what we do.
Right.
But they do have kids, small kids that they don't police, that are out all the time at night after hours in the dark. They got 2 dogs that are out that roam the neighborhood. So for anybody coming and going, please be respectful. We can't really turn it into Diddy's racetrack. That's really her only concern. She's more than willing to drive anybody that needs to be driven to the condos. She's more than willing to hang out and help, with the festivities. But I guess the biggest thing, and really the only request, is to please be mindful of the bluff speed, which is, I think, 25 in our neighborhood. But, if it's 30, that's okay. I know that might concern some people because, driving slow and dodging golf balls isn't easy, but it can be done. So we're really just asking that nobody comes through there going 55, 65, and God forbid hits a dog or gets hit by a golf ball.
Yeah, no, I think we could definitely make those accommodations. That seems like a very easy accommodation that we can all adhere to, I would hope. But, with that statement, it makes me obviously think back of last year. Potter, winding up, hitting Blake's car, shatter everywhere. Everyone look at each other. I've never seen Potter feel so guilty in my life. Never seen Blake so mad in my life. It was just a combination that was just incredible. I loved that moment.
What a dynamic. An all-time moment in BMI for sure. The crazy part is, I know we've talked about it before, but
Right.
long before Blake showed up,
Yep.
7 people in a row
Yep.
hitting golf balls in a fucking RV, and I mean,
Luckily, we all sucked.
RV, and that could have ended poorly too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are the odds?
I guess the reason why I brought that up, Andy, is, looking back at the prestigious BMI tournament throughout the years, what's the one thing that keeps this tournament going? I guess go ahead and answer that question.
Well, I think initially what kept it going was just the pure wanting to have some sense of competition amongst us, and that could certainly still be true today.
Right.
It certainly is a tremendous competition that was, I would say, highlighted by last year's finish. Certainly the competition only gets bigger, only gets stronger every year. But I think really what keeps it going now is it's seemingly become the one opportunity for everybody, and specifically, the '06 guys, the '08 guys to come together for a weekend. Everybody drop everything they're doing. Everybody that has obligations with babies, families, wives, all that stuff. Clear the schedule, come down, get fucked up, have a good time. For a couple days. It's more becoming a release for that.
Right.
Which I'm more than willing to have that be, the reason why people are attending. But I think going forward, certainly, it will continue to be something that everybody looks forward to. It's just a way to get out of the fucking house and go rage for a weekend.
No, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there. As we get older, as more responsibilities come across, you're looking for those releases, and there's no better place to release
Everybody needs to release, and if it needs to be releasing all over me, then please release on me.
What a perfect place to release.
Exactly. Come release all over me.
So, Andy, I guess as the BMI historian as well, what's the number one thing you look back on throughout the years as your greatest moment? Whether it's the nights before beer pong, whether it's on the course, whether it's Potter hitting Blake's car. What's the one memory that you look back on and go, God, that was cool, or that was fun, or that was scary? Well, what's the one thing you think about with the BMI?
Well, my response to that may be a little bit biased, just because
Sure.
I've had the fortune of being a Black and Mild Invitational champion, and I mean, there's nothing better than putting on the green jacket and prancing around in that, and knowing that that jacket is yours for the next year. So I would have to first say, my championships are atop the list. But a specific moment that comes to mind recently would have to be last year's drinking competition. I took a step back after me and Cuts
Yep.
came back from 9-1 down in the first round.
Yep.
And after our first round game was over, and we had 24 people packed in a garage, more than 24 really, if you count the lot lizard. And we had all these people packed in a garage, and everybody was having such a good time. And it reminded me so much of why it is we do this, and it put a big smile on my face, and I said, yeah, we're fucking doing it, we're doing it right. And it's moments like that I'm like, all right, we're on to something here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And with that answer, brings up another big question that I think a lot of the listeners want to hear. What's your stance on the lot lizard coming back this year?
Well, J. Remy, aka Turtle, aka Squirtle, is banned from the Black and Mild for a year.
Wow.
It was something that the committee and myself had to put some sanctions in place for the actions last year. That's not totally in relation to the lot lizard. There were some other things that happened that were a direct result of that. The lot lizard herself is by no means banned from the Black and Mild Invitational, and I do not know if her invitation was sent out, but if she's listening, she is certainly welcome back. And I know that we would love to have her. more than welcome to come back.
Good to know. I know a lot of people were real big fans of her appearance last year.
Huge Slot Lizard fan.
I mean, I know me personally, I am the biggest Lot Lizard fan. I want her back every year. I think it's a tradition unlike any other. I mean, when she shows up, that's when you know the party's going to be a good time.
All bets are off at that point.
Kind of staying on that same subject, what's our stance on standing over people while they sleep at the Black and Mild this year?
I think it's one of those things that has to be consensual. We're a sex positive, golf tournament. We want everybody to have the ability to express themselves freely, but it also has to be something that's mutually understood and beneficial for both parties.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to completely discourage it. People handle the stress and the pressure of the BMI in different ways. And if that means that you and a teammate, need to go up to the man cave, or you and a teammate, need to perhaps, take a walk and, talk about things and hold hands, or, whatever the case may be, you're more than welcome to do that. In regards to standing over people when they sleep, I think that's something that should be cleared prior to somebody falling asleep. I don't think that, again, it has to be something that's consensual and understood. We certainly don't want anybody waking up to a penis in their face that doesn't want it.
Okay. Now, I hope everyone has their notepads out and taking notes on this. These are new rules set this year, so we want to make sure everyone's abiding by these rules. I know me personally, I took very vigorous notes and will be re-listening just to make sure I caught all of that. I definitely don't want to get kicked out of the Black and Mild for inappropriate behavior. Well, Andrew, I appreciate you so much for not only taking the time to talk to me today, but obviously as the commissioner of the BMI, it's an incredible job what you do, and I don't think we can thank you enough. So obviously just want to take a time to say thank you for all you do. And
Thanks, buddy.
any parting words for the viewer or the viewers, listeners, anything that they should be doing, give us a final thought.
I could probably continue to talk on and on for hours and hours and hours and continue to hype up the tournament. I don't think that's necessary. I think everybody, for the most part, knows what they're getting into. For those that don't know what they're getting into and have never participated in a Black and Mild Invitational, we're very happy. We're very excited to have you. The swag this year is far better than any swag we've ever had.
Good.
The course is in far better shape than it's ever been before.
Good.
The field is the toughest field it's ever been, and whoever goes down as the champions this year will have no doubt earned the right to wear the green jacket.
Incredible. And that was your commissioner for the BMI 2019, Andrew Davis. Andrew, thank you again.
Love you guys.
This podcast is brought to you by Legend Golf. Are you a legend or not? Encore Golf. Go ahead and take a bow. Short tee tees. What is that? A short tee? King Cobra Co. It's the only way to go. Beer stick. Hurts the first time and y'all done fucked up now. Car Financial Services. You need a car? You need finances? We've got the services. A special thanks to our food and beverage sponsors. Budweiser. Bud. Michelob Ultra. What are you? A pussy? And welcome back to KJ Knows Best.
What's up, man?
Mark Harris, hello and welcome to KJ Knows Best. How are you, sir?
Wow, no prep time.
No prep time.
How are you?
Doing just fine, Mark. It's my honor to be here with you. Don't know if you got the news, but unfortunately KJ will not be able to host this year, so you're stuck with me.
Oh, no. Is
Yeah.
he all right?
Everything's fine. He has a baby girl, and
Congratulations, KJ.
in his absence, I'm here for the listener and to give the hot takes and the questions. So, Mark, I just want to go ahead and give you a moment to have an opening remark about your excitement for BMI, about your prep for BMI. Go ahead and take us off there, bud.
Well, I actually just a second here.
Are you?
All right, sorry about that.
Did I catch you at a bad time, Mark?
No. I was at a loss for words there for a second.
Okay.
The excitement's just through the roof. I was telling some people, I believe it was last weekend, that 2018 was a good golf year for me. I played TPC Sawgrass, I played TPC Scottsdale, played some really good golf at the end of the year. But the highlight of the year was finishing in last place at the BMI 2018. And I think that tells you all you need to know about the whole weekend is that you can still finish in last place, but it'll still be an unbelievable highlight. Now, this year, I'm a good bit more confident and optimistic about my team's chances. I got three incredibly solid players on my team, and I think we're going to go very low. But we got to make some putts, and we got to do it on the course. But I'm very confident.
No, yeah, I'm excited for your team. I like what you did. I really do. Mark O'Leary, Joey G, Sam Leon. For those who don't know, that's a solid four. But there is one part that I don't like about your team. If I could be honest here,
Is it me being a captain?
it's you. Yeah, it's you being the captain.
That's not shocking.
Yeah, and what do you have to say to the critics? And I'm probably your number one critic of
You're up there.
you being a captain. Like, just talk to me a little bit about your haters and what that brings to your game.
Well, I don't think my critics are necessarily critical of my golf game, or they're more critical of just my general personality and way I live my life.
Right.
And so they're going to be critical of whatever I do. And so I've gotten used to I've gotten used to the haters, and I've learned to really embrace it. And people like you, I mean, I enjoy the banter, but it really doesn't affect me. When it comes down to hitting good shots, making putts, um, I would say you specifically are one of the last people I'm thinking about. So you can add Joey Piazza on that list. You can add Blake. You can add Butters. You can really add the whole BPGA. The only people I'll be thinking about are my teammates, and I want to. I'm going to come too strong for those teammates.
Well, and that kind of brings up my next question. I feel like one of your biggest haters and your biggest critics is actually on your team, Sam Leon. I've heard multiple times out of his mouth, whether it's on a beer pong table, a basketball court, a debate, whatever it is, I've heard a lot of coming out of his mouth about you. And, tell me how that's going to affect your team chemistry when you're sitting on hole 17 and, you shank one into the marsh and, Sam looks at you and says something snarky. How's that gonna go for your team?
Sam's always been the guy who embraces the competition with me. He's not scared. There's a lot of people out there who are scared to compete against me, and for good reason. Um, but Sam is the person who will step up to the plate. He'll talk his shit. He'll be confident in his abilities. And in golf, I hear he's playing great. Word out of the district is that he's playing great. I got some sources up there. Some of my base nectar buddies that I like to go to shows with say that he's hit the ball better than ever.
Really?
And whenever we've been on the same team, whether it be flip cup or beer pong, we've always put those differences aside and really delivered and played well. So I don't think it's going to be any different in a couple weeks at BMI down in the Bluff.
Right.
I'm not worried about that at all.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't see it being a real factor. It's just I think it's a fun point to bring up for sure.
I think the fun thing with Sam is that, and one of the bigger reasons I picked him is that he is actually a solid
hitting game player. Like he can flip some cups, he can shoot some balls every now and then. So hopefully he gets hot on Friday night, and we have our pick in that position.
No, yeah. I mean, when I was on Sam's team the 2 years ago, I mean, me and him ran the table when we weren't supposed to even, we were laughed at the table. So
Yeah, like
no.
he must have been carrying you.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. All right. All right. Well, moving on to my next question. Moving on to my next question. This is one that I think a lot of our listeners are really gonna like. Does it help or hurt your team that you guys all went to the same school that hasn't won a national championship since the 1980s?
That's a low blow. Who the hell submitted that question?
That was submitted by yours truly.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it'll affect us at all. I think our shared love for the dogs will be great for us. I mean, I don't think this is not about college football national championships. This is about BPGA championships. And so if anything, we're due. Maybe 2019, everybody knows this is going to be the year of the dog. And so we'll start that off correctly and get that going. Georgia baseball is incredible this year. They'll probably win the College World Series. We just signed the number 3 recruiting class in basketball. They'll probably go to the Final Four next year. And I would be very surprised if this 2019 Georgia football team didn't go 15-0. Those are the expectations, and I think we're going to set those expectations by winning the BMI.
I love the way you answer that question. Here, moving on to, the questions that we want to hear about. I'm kind of, just messing with you a little bit. Let's talk more about the BMI. What's going to be the key factor for your team to walk away on Saturday with the green jacket, those black and mild tips? What's the one thing, without giving away any tips or tricks, what's the one thing y'all are going to be focused on?
For me personally, I think we just need to be focused on the 128 shots. We got to be dialed in. We have to give ourselves opportunity to make putts. I think we can make putts if we give ourselves good looks. But if we're 25 feet, 30 feet out consistently, those aren't the kind of looks that we need to give ourselves. But I think we'll be bombing the ball down the fairway. We'll have 4 good swings at it. And if we can give ourselves some good looks and get some momentum going and see the balls go in, I think we'll be in very good shape. But I would say one key is really the 120-yard to 80-yard shots, making sure that we're dialed in, because that's really the difference between the top 3 with Poe, Butters, and Eric. Mm-hmm. They're just lights out from that range all the time. And Connor that way too. I hear Dean's that way too. I don't have that much.
Dean's very.
Dean, but I hear Dean is just lights out.
Yep.
Anything 120 in. He's lights out on the greens too. So we have to. We just gotta be sticking balls all day, pin seeking, and I'm confident that with 4 good swings, that at least a couple of them will be close, that we can have a go at it off the green.
Great. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. That 120 and in, and then putting is going to be crucial, obviously. Looking at the field of competitors, what's the team that you look at? And I know you're a competitive guy and you want to say, no one scares you. But, what team do you look at as a competitor, and you kind of circle them on Friday night and you go, that's the team I want to beat, because if I can beat that team, we're going to win.
In the drinking games or in the
tournament? The tournament. Yeah, you're going to be circling them Friday night in preparation for Saturday.
That's a solid question. I was talking to Bruce, and he was saying that Poe was playing some really good golf last weekend at Whitewater, just smashing his 3-wood. And out of those top 3 seeds, he has the most BPGA experience, and that means a lot, obviously. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he has the most BPGA titles as well.
Yep.
And so the guy knows how to win. The guy knows how to close the deal. So I would say that team, and he's got Andy and Patty D on his team.
Yeah.
His 4th?
Yeah, his 4th is a guy named Scott. You might not know him. He went to Georgia Southern. He's a Savannah kid. Doesn't play golf very well at all. He'll be there to drink and make a couple putts most likely.
Okay. Well, either way, those top three are solid. Everybody knows Andy's consistency, and Patty B can hit the shit out of the ball evidently. So, if they can give Poe maybe 10 to 15 total shots in the round, I think he can take it from there, and they'll be in a really good spot. I like your team too. Even though you have Paulie on your team, who evidently may just be cursed at the BMI. Evidently, he's never won one. I don't think.
No, Paul.
Okay, we'll just say he's never won one because I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I don't think he has.
So it's one of those things where I like the talent on the team. I like the team chemistry you guys most likely will have. But also there's the cloud over you guys is Paulie's never won anything, at least at the BMI level.
Right.
So I hope that doesn't. I hope it does negatively affect you guys. But your team's solid, and then I would say our team. I mean, I'm just very confident. Joey's a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
Mark O'Leary has a super high ceiling. He could have been a captain himself. And Sam, as a fourth hitter, is very consistent and will be hitting good shots all day. So it's really come down to us hitting good cutter shots and making putts. The rest of the teams, not really worried about it at all.
Not worried about Butters, not worried about Eric, and definitely not worried about Blake's team.
100% not worried about Blake's team. They shouldn't even show up really.
Yeah, wait, and before you go on any further, I mean, we're kind of getting into my next question. What's the team that you go, this team's got no shot? Like this team, like I look at your team when I'm sitting here and I go, that team's got no shot. What's the team that you're saying that about, Mark?
Well, let me rebuttal there. Why do you say we got no shot?
Because you're on the team, Mark. I just don't believe in it.
Okay, there we go. It'd be Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I believe their name is. First off, just brutal name that no team can win a title with that team name.
Terrible name.
And then Matto is good, but also it's his first BMI back, and I think he might be a little too excited for it.
Yeah.
I know he's been putting in a lot of prep work. I know he's been putting. I know he's probably been staring at the scorecard, just visualizing shots, doing a lot of Matto things. But I think he needs to be able to temper those emotions. I'm worried about him being able to do that. Cam Black, he's evidently a solid player. Can he repeat the performance he had last year? We'll see. But that team, Parker, one masterminds group. I don't know what to expect out of him at all. I don't even know if I should even expect him for him to be there. But I think that team could fall apart pretty quickly. If things don't go well in the first 5 or 6 holes, I can see them a lot of hit fighting, a lot of bickering, and maybe even I can see them posting a score that's actually over par.
Wow,
that's what I'm expecting out of that team.
Breaking news and speculation from Mark Harris. I love the insight, Mark. You brought up One Masterminds Group himself, Parker DuPont. What's your thought on One Masterminds Group on IG?
I think it's certainly interesting. I believe I respect the commitment to putting out content. I think he has a lot of original thoughts, and it's interesting. I always get excited when I'm scrolling through the whole IG feed and I see Parker DuPont just popping up on my screen. I always spend whether it be 45 seconds or 3 minutes watching the video. Sometimes I regret watching it, but I always do spend the time watching it. And so I hope it keeps pumping it out. I hope the brand keeps growing stronger. And I need more Trevor DuPont in it, though, too. I think we got a little taste of Trevor a couple weeks ago or last week, and it was pretty electric. So if we could get more Trevor, that'd be my only request.
Love that. Thanks for the insight. Mark, I know I called you on a limb here, and I appreciate you taking the time. I want to kind of wrap some things up. First off, I want to talk to you about Friday night, your expectations for Friday night, beer pong. I know you are a fierce competitor on that scene. Give me your
Thanks, Chris.
give me your thoughts on Friday night and what you're expecting for that.
I'm expecting a lot of fun, actually. I've heard good things about the swag bag, so I'm expecting good things out of that. And I'm expecting, like last year, I think me and Bruce lost to you and Gordy in beer pong in the first game, which was just a complete disaster.
Wait, you broke up. Excuse me. What was that?
Yeah, me and Ben Baker, the what is he, the king of girth? Who dubbed him? I'm not sure who dubbed him that, but I kind of like it. We lost to you and Gordy in beer pong.
Oh wow.
It was an outlier. It was, something that will never happen again.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was strange. Weird, right?
Interesting.
I expect to lose some money to Colin in blackjack if he plays the house. That was fun when he did that. And I expect just a fun night. And the dinner. I hope the champions have some respect for the rest of the field. Last year they didn't, but I hope that's different this year, and I think it will be. But Friday night's gonna be great. The tournament's gonna be great. Hopefully Duke's in the Final Four, and North Carolina's in the Final Four, so we have a good Saturday night b-ball viewing experience.
What about the Knowles? Do you think the Knowles make it to the Final Four?
I haven't been to the Final Four in one of my brackets, but I didn't realize
Kofor.
Phil Kofer situation.
Yeah.
That sucks. It's sad, really.
Well, he's hurt too.
What?
He's hurt as well.
Oh, I know he's hurt. I thought he was just out just because his dad passed away.
No, yeah, his dad passed away and he has a hurt foot, so probably won't see Phil. But I think it's Zion's tournament to take down, obviously, at this point. But you got to win the games.
Yeah, and if the Knowles can get past
Zags,
I mean, who knows? Michigan or Texas Tech. But my question for you is, how do you feel that Florida State's now a basketball school?
Huge fan of it. To be honest with you, Florida State Seminoles are a women's softball and women's soccer school at first, and then we're basketball, probably baseball, track and field, probably academics, and then a football team. So,
not to take all the listeners on a complete tangent about Florida State football, because nobody cares about it really. But is Taggart gonna get fired? Is he gonna make it through the season? He's got to win 8 games to keep it. I think he's got to win 7. You guys have a quarterback?
James Blackman, yeah.
Okay, so no.
No, James Blackman's good. He'll be fine. We're winning 10 games next year. Book it. Well, Mark, like I said, I appreciate your time. You are definitely one of our least favorite guests every year. And thank you so much for your time. Any parting words for the listeners? Take it away.
Not at all. I appreciate you putting it all together. I wish Kyle and new baby girl the best. And we're excited to get down there. Team Mash Caters, sponsored by golf.edu, is ready to get after it. And we're excited to see everybody down the bluff. Safe travels to everybody, please.
Yep.
And what are we, 8 days away, 9 days away?
It's incredible. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm not good at math, but we're somewhere around there.
It's single digits, and it's electric. But I appreciate the call, and we'll talk soon, all right?
All right, Mark. Have a good one. Thanks for participating, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good, man.
See you, buddy. This podcast is brought to you by the Elias Sports Bureau. You got stats, we got facts. The artist Nick Wolf. Thank you, Nick. You rock.
You have reached the voicemail box of
What a bitch.
770.
And welcome back to KJ Knows Best.
Hello?
Adam Potter, hello and welcome to KJ Knows Best. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing just fine. It's only me, unfortunately. Like I've been telling the other people I've talked to, Kyle had his baby, so picking up on his slack or his absence, I will be hosting this year, unfortunately. So I actually just want to open up with what's your thought on Kyle having a baby?
Man, I'm really excited for him. good-looking BP members.
I mean,
Aaron, but our baby's going to be gorgeous.
I mean, have you seen pictures of the baby?
Yes. I just don't like babies. That's a pretty baby.
It looks exactly like Kyle. Of course it's a pretty baby.
Yes, of course.
Well, Adam.
Talk to him much. He's doing well. Everything's going good.
Yeah, everything's going well. They got back 2-3 nights ago, and they're at home, and everything seems to be going well right now. So our thoughts and prayers are with Kyle and Aaron.
Absolutely. He's got a good resource in his next door neighbor.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Adam, just want to say thank you for joining us today. I'm not the interviewer that Kyle is. Let's be frank here. But I do want to go ahead and get you to start off, Adam, about your expectations for the BMI 2019 tournament this year. Go ahead and open us up with your thoughts, comments, anything you have to say about this tournament coming up.
I mean, expectations couldn't be higher. It's the biggest tournament ever. 28 people, 7 foursomes coming down. A lot of people put on a tournament. I'm impressed that Andy is pulling this off with his pregnant wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. I think I'm excited to see what the games are Friday night. Really have no idea, how we're going to decide tee times. It's always a blast. Everybody getting together and drinking and being one big happy family. Then Saturday morning, I love seeing the uniforms. I've already heard a few things about uniforms, and I'm really excited. I know I'm most excited for our team's uniforms, but yeah, it couldn't be more built up than this year.
No, I couldn't agree, and that kind of brings me to my first question for you, Adam. Is how does it feel to be the overwhelming favorite going into the 2019 BMI?
It feels good. I gotta go out there and perform and keep earning that number one spot. I think I got a good team. I really think that my draft order was a little easier than some of the other top guys' draft orders, so I ended up with a pretty good team. So yeah, I'm excited. I know that there's a target on me, but I like that. So, I want to get back in that winner's circle. It's been since you and me were on a team that I won that green jacket.
No, and that's again, the segues keep rolling here. Last year was a miss for you. I know, that's something that you're not used to. And then the year before, obviously, you won. What's going to be a little bit different, whether it's your mentality, your team, your strategy, without giving away anything? What's going to be your number one thing you want to change from last year to going into this year, Adam?
I think that we put a pretty good run in it last year. I think that my team was good. We could have definitely won. We played well in the front nine, and we just couldn't get anything to fall in the back. So, not always trying to reinvent the wheel here. I think that the strategy I've had the last couple of years has been pretty good. So everybody, try and play aggressive, but don't make any bogeys, make a lot of birdies. Yeah, just get after it. I like the fact that I don't think I've ever bogeyed a hole in a major tournament. So that's big for my team. So we don't want any bogeys. We want to make sure they all make par. Any kind of birdie is just bringing me on top. So yeah, same strategy, just aggressive but patient, and we'll see how it turns out.
Love that. And, the thing I want to bring up about your team is you obviously have the most veteran player and participant in the commissioner this year, Andrew Davis, which I thought was a brilliant pick out of you.
Oh, my God, was I excited when Andy drafted me.
Yeah, no, I mean, give me some insight on not only Andrew, but the rest of your team and how you saw it out and, how you feel about your team.
Well, it's going to be short because I've never played with Patrick Booker. I've never played with Scott Moore. So, the only person I play with is Andy. Or seen play with Andy. I really haven't heard about playing with Andy. So, his pick was big for me because he really kicks the ball in play. And that's big because it helps me. I can be really aggressive when I've got a T-ball out there. I know he's going to do that for me. So that's my logic behind picking him number one overall. And there's guys that can hit it further. There's guys that can, do some really impressive things as far as getting out there and getting into play. Like I know with Andy, I would be shocked if my team got close to making the bogey this year. I mean, he's going to be consistent on the team, and we're going to have irons in every hole, hopefully short irons in every hole. So, I think that his
No, absolutely. I mean, with his course knowledge and your ability to hit those spots, it could be a lethal duo. Not to mention with Patty B and Scott as well. So, looking forward to seeing your team. Are you? I guess I haven't got caught up to date. Are you, along with Eric and Butters, playing from the blues?
I think that we're playing from the blues on some holes and the golds on some holes.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know the exact hole numbers and stuff like that, but I think we're playing from the golds on like 6 holes, something like that. I don't know. Something tell me.
What's your official stance on playing from the blues versus the golds or a mixed match? What do you look into, or am I looking into it a little bit too much? What's your thought process about moving back to the golds for all 18 holes?
I like playing the golds. It doesn't bother me that much. Just there's only a couple of holes where it's a big difference. I'd almost rather it be flipped where we played the golds on a dozen holes or 15 holes, and then played the blues on the par threes, or like a really long par five. Like number 9 is really tough for the golds. It's almost hard to hit the fairway from back tee box there because it can be really far back. So, but at the same time, like we decided this before the draft. I think that I don't think it should be changed this late in the game.
Right.
So yeah, I think that the best way to handicap is just to put us back into the mix with our goals.
No, yeah, I completely agree. I just wanted to bring it up. I know it's something that some of the listeners wanted some input on from yourself. Looking at the competition, Adam, and I know you're a competitive guy. I know you're a very confident guy in your golf ability, but you're sitting there Friday night after the drinks, after the fun, after the beer pong, the swag, and you're sitting in your bed. What's the one team that you are going to circle the night before and you say, if I can beat this team, or if we can beat this team, I know that we are going to wear that green jacket on Saturday?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Usually, I always just want to beat Butters and Murph. They're like the stars. I would always beat them, even if I lose the tournament. I want to make sure I beat those two. But this year, I mean, there's some really good other teams. I think that the overall golf skill set has come up, or skill level, I should say, has come up for the group the last couple of years. So, between now and how it was 2 years ago, there's a lot more better players than there were. I know Blake's got a good team. Paul and Connor together, that could be deadly. I know if Paul gets going with his driver, I've seen what Connor can do with his wedges, and it's pretty good. So I think that a lot of teams could win it. Probably Blake's team is the one I've got my eye on the most.
Okay.
And I feel pretty good about our chances.
And then, kind of the opposite. Don't need to call out anyone like I did, the hair. But what's the team that you look at and you go, I'm not worried about that team?
Well, I think it's been well documented that Murph's going to have to play really well for him to have a good shot, I think.
Okay.
And no offense to the rest of that team, but he's just got an uphill battle. He's going to have to really play well.
That was Butters' team you're talking about? Butters?
Murph's.
Oh, Murph's team. Okay. Yeah, Murph's, Colin, Frat, Gary. Yeah, Murph's going to have to play well with that team for sure.
Yeah, he can certainly do it, but he's going to have to play well.
Right. No, absolutely. And, with that, Adam, I know we're all excited. I know you're excited. I know we're excited to compete in the 2019 BMI. Could you end and close with any remarks, comments about your excitement, about your expectations moving forward to the BMI 2019? It is your platform to take it away.
Yeah, I'm just really excited. I know, there's some question. There's a question of whether or not Andy's going to still be down there in old Bluffington. What's it from? The Bluff, whatever. What's the name of it? Shelton's Bluff.
Yes.
There's a question of whether or not he's going to still be down there. So this can be like the last really big major on that golf course where we have the kind of setup that we have this year and we've had the last 3 years. So, I'm excited. It's going to be big. I know I'm seeing some of the guys this weekend. Everybody's trying to play twice this weekend to prep. So, it's going to be good. Hope to see everybody out there for a practice round Friday, too.
Absolutely. Get there early, everyone. Well, Adam.
Rise to arrive early.
Absolutely. Well, Adam, like always, we appreciate your time here at KJ Knows Best. I thank you a lot. Look forward to seeing you down on the bluff.
Absolutely, bud. Appreciate it.
All right, Adam. Have a good one, bud. This podcast is brought to you by the Atlanta Falcons. Dirty birds and dirty words. Pampers pull-ups. Pull 'em up, daddy. It's time to take a shit. Golf Bros. Do you like golf? Well, I love bros. Golf Bros. And welcome back to KJ Knows Best.
What up, Trip?
Eric Murphy, Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
Hey, KJ, how are you?
Doing just fine. KJ's not here with us this year. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me this year, Eric. But no worries at all. Eric, we're gonna jump right in. How does it feel to be the overwhelming favorite of the BMI this year?
That's going to be some false advertisement there. Definitely not the favorites. I'm sure you're talking about everybody, but definitely don't see us being the favorites. But I think we have a good team. I'm very confident in my team. I think all the teams are pretty even. I mean, the committee did a good job putting it all together, and I don't really know if one team really jumps out at me. I think it's pretty even across the board.
No, I actually agree with you a lot there. Did have some controversy kind of leading up to the BMI about the top three playing from the Blues. Give us your thought process on playing from the Blues on certain holes, and just go ahead and give us your thought process on that.
Well, we fought for it last year, and what it really comes down to is those par threes, especially the one on the back. Was it 14 or 15? I mean, from the blue tees, it's I don't know, like a 160, 170, and then from the golds, it was like over 200. So there's a big discrepancy there. My team bogeyed it, of course, and so I still hold that little bit of a grudge. But like number 8 is a really, really, really tough tee shot for anybody. But then I want to say from the golds it's like 195,
Right.
and then from the blues it's like 170. So to clear all that, I mean, it's just tough seeing if you have 3 of the guys, put one in the marsh or nothing good, then I got to walk back 25 more yards and hit over the marsh into a tough green. So, but I mean there's par fours that I think we're still playing from the gold, which is fine.
Right.
The shorter par fours, but then what it really needed is the par fives. My team wasn't able to take advantage of the par fives this year because some of the gold tee boxes were back a little bit. Like I know number 9 was a very weird tee shot. So hopefully I can take advantage of some more of the par fives this year with my team that I did not last year. So hopefully that's the case. But no, I think the committee did a good job with the tee selection. I think they understood where I was coming from and Potter and Butters. I mean, I guess you say we're the best 3, but it's not like we're miles above everybody else.
Right.
As far as driving, Hare can smash the ball, Dean can smash the ball, other people can smash the ball on all the other teams, and so like on our teams, it's really just us 3 are the ones that are really getting that good shot to crush that drive, whereas on the other teams, there's 3 to 4 chances to hit a good drive out there. So just trying to help our odds just a little bit. I got to fight for every inch.
No, absolutely. And I, to be honest with you, I think the biggest disadvantage of the playing from golds is the waiting process of having to walk back to the gold tees, like you said. I mean, that just kills the rhythm.
And playing scrambles, it's all about having a good time at the end of the day. And
Right.
walking back to go hit from another tee, it almost feels like you're separating yourself from the group. Trying to do as little of that as possible.
No, I completely agree. Kind of moving forward, what's going to be the biggest takeaway from last year for yourself, and what are you going to try to improve on as a team this year moving into the 2019 BMI?
I think just general course knowledge. Having played the course twice already, and then we'll get another practice round in on Friday. Knowing all the little ins and outs will help. Certain shots that I remember that I hit from last year I can take and use again this year. And then having Colin and Fred on my team that they've won there before. We have winning members on my team, so that's kind of what I was going for in the draft. I wanted some of that winning mentality on my team, so I think that will help carry over for us.
And I'm glad you brought up your teammates. There has been some criticism of your first overall pick, Colin Elias. Um, Go back to the draft day and give us your insight. I mean, you kind of already shed some light on that of picking Colin in front of some of the other participants this year.
Colin's he's a good putter. I've only played with him once, and I've seen him roll several putts in. And at the BMI, at the end of the day, it's all about putting. And I mean, Colin has been an exceptional number two so far. He's taken care of a lot of all the organizational stuff for the group. Kind of leaves me free to kind of just focus in on the golf. And then I've done frat for years, and I heard that one year on Potter's team he was rolling in ridiculous putts at the BMI.
Yep,
So
he was.
see if we can get that going again. And Gary's been playing 3 to 4 times a week, I think.
Yep.
Up to this, so Gary's in good form for where I got him in the draft. I feel pretty solid about that.
No, yeah, I just got off the phone with Gary, and he's feeling very, very confident in his game. So, as one of the last 3 picks, I think you got one of the good ones for sure there.
Yeah, I mean he's been playing probably more than anybody.
Yeah.
In old BMI.
No, absolutely. Kind of shifting gears, talking about Friday night. First off, what are your expectations for Friday night? Obviously you got the practice round that day, but drinking games, all of that. What's your anticipation level on that side?
I mean, I think that we're all very good flip cuppers, and beer pong, we're kind of hit or miss, but we do have Gary. So I mean, Gary went to Southern, so Gary can pong. Not worried about Gary's performance. It's just we get me or Frat or Colin going in with him as well. We could make a run, but yeah, I mean, it would be nice to win the beer pong tournament and get that first pick in the slot. I mean, that's a major advantage.
Are you aware that Gary can't drink beer? Like, he's not a beer drinker at all?
You can just throw it up and he can keep drinking it. It should be fine. I've seen Gary swallow some beers.
Very good.
I mean, I'm not the greatest beer drinker ever, but you got to get it down when you can and then get it back up.
No, absolutely. And you brought up the tee time selection. You don't have to give me too much insight on what your team's thinking. Don't want to give away tips and tricks from your team. But if you were to get that spot, what do you think the ideal position is for all the teams out there, tee time wise? What's the tee time that you like?
Everybody's going to be different, but I don't think a majority of people are going to want to go first. So I would say that's probably one of the least desirable positions. You want to start there, and then it's about having a good time. Shooting the shit with other groups as they come along, but being surrounded by groups is good too. So being the very last group, could take away a little bit of the fun there. But I think being last, you see exactly where you're going to be and exactly what position you're going into on the last hole. So I have to say probably the last position might be the best, but then again, you're kind of isolated back there too. So it's ups and downs.
Great insight there. You got the best dressed 08 on your team. So how would you rank your uniforms? I mean, y'all are going to be coming out there pretty dapper, I'd have to imagine.
I'm very happy with how our uniforms turned out. I think we will definitely stand out. I think it's very classy. I think it's also, very professional, but has some fun with it too. It's nothing too serious.
Love that. Love that. And with that, Eric, one of my final questions is, who do you think is going to have the most drinks on the course Saturday? And will obviously it's all about fun, but it's also about winning. Are you?
I would have to say probably Gordy. When Gordy gets nervous, he starts drinking really quick and starts pounding beers. And I would see Gordy, probably drink a few too many beers on the course. Although last year he said he didn't drink any, but you could probably test this. Was Gordy drinking on the course last year?
No, he wasn't drinking much. Our team wasn't drinking much last year.
Yeah, same here. So it's hard to tell because I wasn't really with the other groups. And it looked like Blake and Dean and them were having a good time. So
right.
I would say, they had that big Yeti that they had full of beer. So maybe Blake or Gordy, one of those.
Love that. Well, Eric, we appreciate your time. Anything that you want to close on? Any final thoughts? about your anticipation, your excitement for the BMI 2019. I'll go ahead and let you take over from here.
Just very excited to get down to the Bluff. Got to acclimate. Try to get down there as early as we can on Thursday. Really looking forward to obviously the practice on Friday, but then the Champions Dinner, and there's supposedly some Sapelo meet and greet hangout. That should be a great time too. Our Airbnb is right off the course right there, so it should be a great time. We're looking forward to Friday night, and then Saturday down to business. Got to get it done. Got to make some putts, and hopefully we come out on top.
Well, good luck to your team, Eric, and safe travels down to the Bluff, and look forward to seeing you next weekend.
See you down there. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Eric.
All right, see you, Joe.
This podcast is brought to you by Shellman Crab Co. Oh no, I got the crabs. Dan Vanden Chevy. Is that a Chevy? 'Cause I love Chevys. Exclusive Grounds. Oh no, hit the ground with Exclusive Grounds. And welcome back to KJ Knows Best.
Hello, Mr. Coleman.
Connor Vogel, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing splendid. If I'm hearing from you on KJ Knows Best, that must mean only one thing, that the BMI is rapidly approaching.
You are at...
Good to be here.
Well, we could not thank you enough for being here today. Connor, just to start off our discussion, just want to get your thoughts, expectations of the upcoming 2019 BMI.
Man, thoughts, lots of expectations. To be honest, every year is a new year, I feel. Every year there's new competitors, new teams, new rivalries. So very excited, to say the least. I'd say excitement's through the roof. Just ready to get down to the Bluff with my team, with yourself, with my brother, with Gordy Van Remmen, my lawyer. I'm excited. I could say that the other 27 members are just excited as I am. We're through the roof. We're just ready to get down there and get going.
I obviously speak for everyone else and yourself. Couldn't agree more. The excitement at an all-time high. My first question for you is, how does it feel to be the overwhelming favorite at the BMI this year?
First, I don't feel like we are the overwhelming favorite. I'm not sure who's saying that. I feel like that all 7 teams that are going to be down there all have an equal shot. I'm confident in our abilities, that's for sure. We pretty much, the Sapelo Seminoles, formerly known as the Coney Island Cream Pies, minus Mark O'Leary, we just replaced Mark with my brother, Paul. So other than that, we had the same team. We lost by 1 stroke last year, so I feel like we'll be in the hunt. It's going to be tough. It's a different time of year than last year. We're a couple weeks later this year. How's the course going to play differently than last? It really comes down to just that one day of 18 holes. Who makes the shots? We forget that Blake's team has 2 of the former members of last year's champions. So, you got half the championship squad from last year. I'd say they've got just as good of a shot as anybody else. So, to answer your question, in short, I wouldn't say we are the favorites. So, I'm not going in there feeling like that. Just gonna, go in there and do our job, make some birdies, and hopefully come out with the trophy and the green jacket. And the sleeve of black and miles, obviously.
Oh my God, tastes so good on the podium.
Never better.
I want to take you back to the draft, and your pick of Paul. It was the storyboard moment of the draft for me. The Vogels are such a powerhouse family as it is. First off, have you ever played in a tournament with Paulie on this level of competition? And then also, what are your expectations of having your brother on your team?
Yeah, so just going back to the draft and actually picking him, it was pretty electric, I'd say. Being with Andy, shout out Chairman Andrew Davis. He's done an absolutely phenomenal job so far. I'm sure we'll get to him in a moment. Of being on that live draft and just, thinking about who I was going to pick. I mean, there's some picks that I didn't see coming in front of me. I didn't even know, to be honest, Dean knew Pika's first name. And then Dean picks Pika. I think his first pick overall at at like 4. I'm thinking I might get Pika on the way back. So now I'm more back at the board. Like, that who's going to be there. And, also, I never played with him in a championship. Definitely never a BMI, never a tournament of this magnitude. So, I had the chance. And then shout out Nance Vogel. Shout out Mom. Mom, hope you hear this later whenever this goes live. Seeing her on the live drive, like, hey, time to make Mom proud. So we're bringing the jacket home for Nance.
No.
Yeah, I'm excited. Definitely excited. Paul's a good, Paul's a great putter. When he's hitting the ball straight, he gets out, but when he does hit it straight, he's farther than me. Like to have a teammate that if he puts it out straight, go farther than mine, take a little pressure off of me. So, yeah, we're excited. Like I said, just excited to get down there. I think we've got some great team camaraderie with yourself and obviously our lawyer Gordy as well. So, yeah, was excited to draft him. There may have been some other players there that others might say should have gone in front of him, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm ready to have him on my team and bring home that jacket.
So Connor, looking at Friday night, you're sitting there in your bed, and you had a good night. We won beer pong, we won Flip Cup, we won all the competitions Friday night, and you're sitting there. What's the team that you're circling the night before saying, if we can beat that team, I think we're going to end up with the jacket?
Very good question. I could circle a lot of teams. A lot of factors go into that Friday night, Some team members may drink a little bit too much. Probably most team members will. Teams, can hold up, and be there ready to break the roar for that 10 a.m. tee time in that first tee speech. But if I'd have to circle one team, tough. But, it's tough to go against, I know he didn't win it last year, but he's won almost every BPGA event he's been in. Has been Adam Potter. He's got the chairman, Andy Davis. I circle them, especially since, the top 3 guys this year are playing from the Blues on most holes. So we'll see, it might be a lot different than last year in that regard. So I'd probably circle Potter's team. Watch out for them, obviously. But all teams are decent. We'll see, we'll see what happens. But mainly because Potter knows how to contain himself, when it comes to drinking.
Right.
I think he'll be ready to go.
Yeah, and speaking of the top 3 playing from the Blues and the Golds, kind of switching up holes. What's your thought on that? I know that one of your teammates, Paul, is very vocal about moving those 3 to the Gold tees. Obviously, it's already set in stone that we have it the way we have it, and we're going to move forward with that. But what's your overall thought on that?
Yeah, so it's already set, so it's it is what it is. The committee, shout committee, they have a tough job. There's added members each year, to the field. So it's always different teams. And honestly, my thoughts are, we'll find out what happens. We'll see, if Potter's or Butters or Eric's teams go out there and shoot, 14, 15 under, well, then there might be some reassessment next year. But, committee's got a tough job. We'll see how it goes. I'm not overly worried, but where those 3 guys separate themselves is in that wedge game. They don't have to hit the ball that much farther, but they're that much better with their wedges in their hands. And Sapelo from the blue tees, as we know, if you're hitting good drives out there, you're less than 100 in on most holes going in. So we'll see what happens. Some people were against it. Other people, demanded it. We'll see what happens. That's all we can really say.
Right. So your team last year was one stroke away from pushing it into a playoff. What are you going to bring? Yeah, what are you going to bring different this year as a team? What's your number one focus moving on, into this year's tournament?
I mean, honestly, I don't think much needs to change. Like I said, we were one stroke away from going into a 3-team playoff with two other teams from last year. I don't think we're changing much. I'd say honestly, the holes that we 8 and 9 were huge for us last year. We didn't play those well. 8 is shout out 8, probably hardest hole or one of the hardest holes on the course. Shout out number 8. So I think we're going to keep most of it the same, even as far as where we went in order last year. Like I said, we literally replaced Paul with O'Leary, or O'Leary with Paul. Sorry, excuse me. We're pretty much going to do the same thing. I think just keep the same order, more or less, same morale. Going to go out there and see what happens. I think if anybody shoots 11. Anyone gets to 12 under, that's going to be the winning score. I think the winning score will be, I'll say 11.
Love that. And just with some fact checking, thanks to the Elias Sports Bureau.
Shout out Elias Sports Bureau.
It looks like at the last 2 events, the hardest hole for all teams is actually going to be number 15 with 6 pars and 4 bogeys in both of those tournaments combined. So just a little tidbit of stats that we got earlier today that you all will be getting via BPGA. So please make sure to subscribe and like.
I do like what the committee did there. They took 2 of the hardest holes on the course, both par 3s, and made them the closest to the pin for some nice prizes. I don't know if everyone's seen them, but there's those nice ball markers there. So gonna be huge to not only hit a good shot, but the best shot and get a little extra something. That's shout out committee for doing that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, the rumors are circling about the swag bag this year, and everything that we're getting here at KJ Knows Best, it's saying the expectations are out of this world about the swag bag. So with the ball marker, I mean, it's incredible. You talking about the closest to the pin on the par 3s, what would you give the possibility of someone getting a hole-in-one at the BMI? What an incredible thing that would be. I mean, it's just a random thought, random question to you, but what's your thoughts on that? I mean, what a dream that would be, right?
It would be the most epic shot that was ever hit, to be honest with you. So the odds are high. Someone does it this year. I got a feeling someone's going to do it. Blake almost did it last year on 17. 17 would probably be the hole to do it.
I mean, every single time I step up to the tee box on 17, I envision it every single time. And probably 5 of the times I've played the course, I fucking shank it. And then last year I was pretty close. So, I'm feeling good this year, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think I'm going to get a hole-in-one on 17 this year. Go ahead and put in the books.
Boom. Huge. That's a big -2 on the scorecard. Love it.
So for the we have a couple of newcomers this year. Joey G, Patty B, Scotch. Those are the 3 that I can think of off the top of my head. What would you say to those competitors this year?
Well, as the saying goes, would be wise to arrive early. Takes a little time getting acclimated to bluff life. It's the best life, but it takes some time to get acclimated. So it would be wise to arrive early. Lots of bugs. They bite too, so be aware. And just get ready for. I mean, there's really no preference for the environment, the intensity. I mean, I remember last year sitting on the T-Box 18 and knowing what we had to do, and I was pumping with adrenaline so hard like I haven't probably I have no idea how, probably ever. So there's really there's no faking it when you get out there. You're either gonna play well or you're gonna suck. So hopefully those guys are ready. Be ready to drink on Friday, then tea time tourney. And be ready to dine. Some nice fine cuisine. Champions dinner, always a good time.
Always a good time for sure. Connor, we're almost wrapping up on your segment, but talking about Friday night and drinking, moving on to Saturday, who do you think's going to have the most beers on the course? Whether it's an 06er, someone on your team, an 08er, Macintosh guy, who do you think's bringing it on the course Saturday, drink wise?
It's a good question. Colin Elias always big favorite there. If I'm looking at the board, I'd probably say, you never know about O'Leary. He could always be slugging them back. We'll see. That's the thing. It all really depends on how the tournament is going.
Absolutely.
If a team is just getting the bricks blown off of them, they're struggling just to get up and down for par on every hole. Well, then come hole 9, 10, 11, they might start slugging them back. So I don't know, but if I had to put my money on anybody, you got to go with Colin Elias. I mean, that's easy money, right? He's got to be minus like 250 in the field.
Easy.
Like easy. Field is like plus, 375. Eli's minus 250. I'd probably say those are standard odds.
Couldn't agree more with you, Connor. Well, Connor, that's pretty much going to do it for us with you. We do appreciate your time, but I want to give you a moment to kind of close out with any remarks. Again, excitement level, whatever you want. The floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Again, always glad to get on with you. I'd be a big asshole if I didn't shout out Kyle Porcher. KJ, we miss you, buddy. I hope you come back soon. I actually really do wish he was on because I'd love to hear his opinion. I'm excited to hear it. I just wish I could have talked to him about it. I'm sure I will prior to getting down there. But shout out Nora Rain. Shout out Aaron Porcher. Love you guys. Nora just came into the world, so Kyle's a dad. That's why he can't be here. Just kidding. Cut that part.
No, nothing get cut. So KJ knows best.
The time you're fucking up, that's getting cut.
Oh yeah. Well, Connor, we appreciate your time like always. We'll see you next weekend down on the Bluff. Please drive safe and have a good one.
All right, boys.
This podcast is brought to you by the People's Republic of China. Thank you, and take a bow. Mattress Firm. What else you gonna sleep on? A shoe? And welcome back to KJ Knows Best. Dean Daniels, it's Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How you doing today, sir?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing just fine. Is now a good time for you, sir?
Yes.
Incredible. So, Dean, as a captain of the 2019 BMI, give us your thoughts, expectations really quick about the tournament and, your feelings leading into next weekend.
My expectations, every year it's amazing. I don't expect anything less. I think this year, it sounds like this year is going to be best of them all. I like that the views went up this year. I think that because of that, there's more surprises in store, which I'm looking forward to. And yeah, every year I'm blown away.
I completely agree. Um, Dean, you've gotten a little bit of criticism for your first overall pick. Tell us what you were thinking and how you feel about that pick moving into next weekend.
My thought process was I was looking through the spreadsheet. Its scores looked really good, and really the thought process was last year with my first pick, I picked a father, and I wanted to repeat that trend of picking a father with my first pick this year, and I think it's going to be. I think it's a great pick, and I'm looking forward to Pika being on my team.
Is dad strength the real thing?
It is. I mean, as you can see, last year that string came in pretty big for my team, especially on the second to last hole of par 3, where we needed a birdie, and the father on our team stuck a ball about 2 feet away, maybe even less.
Can't argue with that, Dean. Talking about last year, obviously the only defending champion captain moving into 2019. Tell us what kind of pressure that puts onto you moving into 2019.
I wouldn't say it puts pressure on me. If anything, it puts a little bit of experience in my pocket. You know, I've been there, I've won it. I architected my team similar to the way I architected my team last year. I went with a lot of good short range players, and I went with one big stick in J-Flow. I've heard he can hit the ball pretty far when he's playing well. So as far as pressure, I don't think there's pressure on per se, because it's not the same team that I had last year. So the pressure, I don't think the pressure's there. I think it's going to go well, and I think people are going to be surprised with the score my team puts up.
That's good analysis from Dean. Dean, talking about your team this year, one of your players slid down the draft in Joey P. A lot of people had him a little bit higher than he was selected. Talk about that pick for you and what that could mean for your team as well.
I think it was massive that he definitely deserves to have been drafted higher. I think it was a major home run for me that he was able to slip down, and I was able to get him with my second pick. Like I said, his short game on the green is going to come in to play amazing for my team, and also he's very consistent off the tee. He might not be the longest hitter, but he's somebody I can count on to put a ball in play off the tees and give us options.
And with that, like let's go to Friday night before BMI, the drinking and all the fun. What do you think your team's chances are to win on the competition side to pick tee times?
I expect my team to come ready to perform Friday night, just like I expect them to come ready to play Saturday. So I think we have a good chance of being able to pick whatever tee time we want.
If you were to win Friday night, you don't have to go into complete details on the tee times that you would be looking at, but what are your opinions on the tee times, and what's the least favorable one, and then maybe a couple that you're looking at?
That's a great question. Last year I was very against going off dead last until after that round, when I saw what happened with us winning, being the last team, and making that last putt. Now I would say that is my number one spot. I'd say the least favorite would probably be going first. Just the pressure of having to tee off in front of every other team. So I would say number one, without a doubt, my number one choice is that last spot again. And then after that, I would go in order of that. I'd say second to last,
I think that's the universal worst pick. Talking to a couple of the captains, I brought up that question, and that seems to be spot on from everyone else. How would you rank your team uniform this year? What are you wearing?
It's a good uniform. I won't get into much detail about it, but we're gonna look very sharp out there.
I expect nothing else out of you. You know, BMI is obviously about the tournament, about winning the green jacket and the trophy and the wooden tips. You know, as last year's winner, take us back to the trophy ceremony and what was going through your head.
Man, it's all a blur. So much going on, so many emotions. It was awesome. Best feeling I've ever had on a golf course. I can say that for sure. I mean, with everybody being there, just surrounded by friends, and it was a great feeling. It's hard to just put into words the feeling. It's more you just have to win to understand that feeling.
No, I completely agree. Completely agree. You never know what it feels like until you're there.
Correct.
You know, kind of on the same thing, you know, BMI's not all about the tournament, but that's what we come here for. But obviously there's a lot of drinking. If you were Vegas, who would you put the odds on favorite to have the most beers or alcoholic beverages on the golf course Saturday?
On the golf course?
Yes.
I would probably put my money on. Like I said, I don't know the 06ers as well. Obviously, I know them. But just from experience on the golf course and the person who pushes for drinking more than anybody else, I would have to say Colin Elias.
That shocked me. Absolutely shocking. KJ knows best. Breaking alert that Colin Elias is going to drink the most beers on the golf course Saturday. Incredible insight. Dean, I guess what's going to be your key factor to winning? You don't have to go too crazy into it, but what are you looking for from your teammates and yourself to put you in that spot to put you in contention on Saturday?
I think for my team, it's the most important. I think we're good off the tee. We have an unbelievable short game. I think it's going to be the most important for my team. I think it's going to be the approach shots to give us those looks to give us birdie looks and hopefully even a few eagle looks.
No, that approach game is, you know, everyone wants to talk about the driver and, you know, the putter, and obviously those are two necessary parts of the game, but that approach shot can make or break you in these tournaments for sure.
Correct.
So, Dean, close your eyes. You're sitting there Friday night after all the drinks, all the hoopla. You're in your bed. You're on the floor. You're in the tub. You're about to go to sleep in preparation for Saturday. What's the team that you circle that night and say, if we can beat that team, we're going to walk away with that jacket and those tips?
Wow. Good question. I mean, everybody's got a team that's capable of going out there and shooting low and putting on that jacket after the tournament. Just looking at the teams off the top of my head, I think with Potter having such a further down the draft picks, I think Potter constructed a very well team that fits him well. So that's I think if we can keep up the pace with that team, I think we'll have a good chance at winning it this year. But like I said, I think every team in the field this year has an equal chance of going out there and performing and being able to put on that jacket and spray that champagne on after the 18th hole.
No, you're absolutely right. It's an even field. You have to put some respect on Adam Potter's name. just for, his BPGA experience, his win total. I mean, it's nothing to put your nose up at or laugh at. The kid is a winner. So I completely agree. But this year, the competition is fierce. And, with that, Dean, we appreciate your time. I want you to just send us off on your final thoughts, remarks about the upcoming tournament. So take it away.
Thank you. I've enjoyed being on the show. Really, like I said earlier in the interview, just every year seems to outdo the year before, and I'm just really looking forward to 30 of us or however many. I mean, I was 28 in the field, but there's going to be 30 plus people there having fun Friday through Sunday morning. So I'm really just looking forward to fun around everybody, and gonna go in with the intentions of winning Saturday, and I expect to, but I just more than anything am looking forward to a fun weekend with a bunch of friends.
And that was Dean Daniels. Thank you so much, Brian. Have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you on the bluff.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, Corey.
This podcast is brought to you by Delta Airlines. It's a bird. It's a plane. Oh, wait. It's Delta. Salesforce.com. The force is strong with this one. The NCAA. Do you pay your players? 'Cause we don't. You know why? Fuck them. And welcome back to KJ Knows Best.
Hello.
Brian Smith, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How you doing today, sir?
Oh God, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Brian. Excited to get you on the phone today. Just going to open it up and give you a second to talk about the BMI 2019 expectations overall for yourself. Go ahead and take that away.
So you're talking about BMI expectations for myself or my team?
Just as a whole, the whole weekend, your overall feel for the weekend.
Oh God, couldn't be more excited about the weekend. Last year was my first BMI, and it couldn't have exceeded expectations any more than it did. I think it was a well put together tournament from start to finish, cradle to grave. I think everything was there, and posted up wonderfully for the players, the fans, and everybody else that wanted to be involved. I think this year we're actually set up to be better as far as the tournament goes. Our accommodations are better this year, and I don't want to say that was on us. I want to say it's on the committee that put it together, but it was definitely on us. But still, the opportunity was made possible by the committee and then executed by us, and it was fantastic. So that, as far as the tournament goes, that's what I think. I think it's well organized and it gets better every year. As far as my expectations now for myself and my team, myself, as far as I was last year and as far as it goes this year, I think once again, I always expect myself to be the best player in the tournament. I'll never expect any different, and I expect my team to be the best in the tournament. Last year we had a great run. We played very well in the back nine. Actually, if you look at what I said last year from the interview, based on what I thought we would bid at the front nine if we would win, it was right at where I said we would play in the back nine. So I think where we're at this year is exactly the same pace. I think we're going to see around the same score win it, and this year I think my team can do it. We just got to improve on the front nine, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, no, I'm very impressed with your team. I think y'all are definitely a top contender, and it actually brings me to my first real question for you. How does it feel to be the overwhelming favorite of the BMI?
Who
it's Vegas odds right now. They're shifting frantically as we speak. A lot of this hedges on your response here.
Oh, okay. Well, so here's the thing. I think definitely we have a solid squad. I think we can absolutely make a run at this thing. We have length, we have girth, we have putting, we have short game, we have course knowledge. I mean, we have everything that you might think could win a tournament like this, especially such a great tournament. Now, do we have the most consistent team that there is out there? I think when you have the top 3 picks, it might not be top to bottom the most and what am I trying to say?
Top heavy teams or like
most,
well-rounded.
Equal teams
Right.
that you have.
Right.
You know, but so when you get the way the draft order is done, we have to draft teams that are going to be as competitive as they can be, and we have to do it a little bit more strategically. And I think what I've been able to put together here is one of the most strategic teams you will find. You'll find great driving distance, course knowledge, absolute great energy coming off my team. And so I think that's where we have an advantage. Are we the favorite? I think you could argue against that. But are we a solid team that can absolutely win this? And I am confident we'll put together a good round that can win this? Absolutely.
No, I completely agree with you. I think it's a very, very even amount of teams. I mean, the competition this year is stout. Adding on another team, more players, and I think it's going to really show this year. With being one of the top 3, the big 3, like I like to call you guys. What's your opinion on the new rule this year of you guys playing some holes from the blue tees and some holes from the green tees, and how that affects like strategy and momentum on the golf course?
Sure. Honestly, I don't think it's going to affect strategy, right? Because the strategy is the strategy, if that makes any fucking sense, right?
Right.
So,
Get the ball in the fucking fairway.
Yeah, we were going to hit last anyway. A guy puts it in the fairway 110 yards out, the last guy's going for it. I'm going balls to the wall,
Right.
hitting the ball as hard as I freaking can, and hoping, I'm down the middle. Now, one thing it does bring into play, though, right? So we're 10 to 15 yards ahead. If I hit a good drive, and this is what I think people don't understand about that moving forward on the tees. If we hit a good drive, all of a sudden we go from 100 yards in to 80 yards in.
Right.
And that might seem great, right? But, I'm more comfortable hitting a 100-yard full lob wedge in than an 80-yard lob wedge in. Because one, I can full swing. The other one, I have to judge it. And
Right.
I think that goes for everybody else. When you're in between clubs, it's a harder shot to hit. So while, we may be closer, and, when you're talking me, Potter, Eric, there also comes some challenges with that. It's not the easiest.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see how it goes, and I think personally I've put together a team that can handle that pretty well.
No, and I agree. And with your point about being 10 yards ahead or 20 yards ahead or however far ahead with your guys' drive, hopefully with the teammates they throw one out there so you have a couple of decisions to look at too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's why the captains like us, we go last, and we see what we got there, and the good thing is, the plus side is, if we have to hit an iron because we haven't been in the fairway, then we have to. We can still have a good shot at it, good chance to make birdie. However, if we go at it with the driver, we can put ourselves in that situation. Sometimes we might have to take the shorter drive to actually have a better shot to get close.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good insight there from Butters. Butters, I want to shift gears a little bit. Put yourself in Friday night. The drinks are flowing. We're having a good time playing beer pong, flip cup. How competitive is your squad going to be on the beer pong and flip cup tables?
Oh God, can't even express it. Professor Eisen is one of the best beer pong players out there.
He is.
I mean, we saw last year him and he and AD. They went down 9-2.
Yep.
They won that game.
Yep.
I mean, so Cuts can just straight up stroke. And myself and Bruce included, I've seen us both play beer pong for the last. I'm 31 years old, so for the last 15 years since I was 16, and I mean we got some talent out there. I haven't seen Matty Davis, but I know how good Andrew Davis is, so I think Matty can carry along that family name and be really competitive for us. We're going to put two squads out there to play well and get us a good position. Yeah. Absolutely.
And the reason why I bring that up as well as a follow-up question, say your team or one of your teams is in the finals and you end up winning the tournament Friday night. You don't have to go into too much detail, but what's your thought on the tee time selection? What's the one place that you want to stay away from, and then kind of give us a little insight on the tee times.
Well, definitely don't want to be first. It's tough to play from the front because you don't know what you're going after, especially when we have live scoreboards, right?
Right.
You don't know what you're going after. You got to start out. You got all the pressure on you on the first tee. Now, with that being said, I don't know if I want to be in last either. I liked where we were last year. We were kind of in the middle of the pack. We had our second pick, and I think somewhere second to last, or maybe even right before that's a good position because you can see what's in front of you, but you can also put pressure on what's behind you.
No.
And it's very important to know where you're at, but also put pressure behind you. And so if you can kind of get in a groove that way, you can press the people in front of you, obviously, what I've already said, and then the people behind you know what they got to hit, and if you're pushing a good number, that's not good for them,
Yeah, put that pressure on the people behind you. It's always a nice thing, but being first, I agree. I think that's the overwhelming majority opinion from all the captains is stay away from that first pick.
Yeah.
So after your team wins the Flip Cup and the beer pong, you pick second to last. You're ready to go. You're feeling good. You're in your bed. You're on the floor. You're in the tub. You're sleeping. You're about to close your eyes.
Yeah.
What's the team that you sit down that night and you circle and you say, if I could beat that team, my team's walking away with that green jacket, that trophy, and those wooden tips?
Yeah, there's definitely some good squads out there. I think all of them are pretty good teams. To be honest, I think Connor has a good team over there. I think Dean, champion last year. I think they got a great team. Everybody's got a really good team, and it's more competitive than it's ever been. And I say ever been because I was there last year, so more competitive than last year. So, it's hard to point out one that I'm sitting there looking at and thinking that, oh, God, we got to beat this team or we're not going to win. I think there's several teams that can shoot, that 10 under, 11 under mark, get you double digits under par. And I think that's going to win it again. No. I think it's Sapelo is a good course, tough course, but not too tough. You can go low there. So I think it's going to take double digits under par, but I think there's a couple teams that can shoot it, and I think we're one of them. So,
incredible insight. I like the fact that you didn't single out one team. That's the first on KJ Knows Best. He's circling the whole team. He's not counting anyone out. I love that out of him.
But look, the way I go into it, there's a lot of good teams. There's no team we can't beat, so there's no single team I'm worried about. You have to be worried about what you're doing on the course. If you do what you're supposed to do, and you get to 10 or 11 under,
right?
If you win, you should have won. If you lost, you know what? You did damn well.
Yeah.
So all we got to worry about is what we got to worry about, and we'll worry about the other teams if they do better than us. but all we can do is play as well as we can, and I think we got a good shot.
And you say 10 or 11 under. Is that what you think's going to take it home this year, around 11 under?
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, that's what we got last year.
Right.
We had a 10 under win it, right? And I think that's what's going to be this year, or 11 under. I mean, shit. I said last year, if my team gets to 5 under in the front nine, you're going to see us shoot 11 under. And we shot 6 under on the back, but we kind of squabbled it on the front. We had 2 under, which was, we had some miscues, but I think it's going to be around that same area unless we get some weather. If we have some windy conditions, I think that can throw some people off. But regardless of the conditions, I think our team is set up well, and I think we can come out with a good result here.
And Brian, your insight, knowledge of the sport, and your professionalism really shows. So we definitely want to thank you from KJ Knows Best for your time. But I do want to give you a second to, kind of give your final remarks. You've done a good job of summing up kind of everything. But if you have any last words to say, now's your time.
Okay. Well, of course, I want to thank the committee and everybody involved in throwing this tournament together. It truly is. I've only been here for this my second year, captain it the first year. It really is an honor, and one of the truly best parts of my year to come out here and get some competitive golf in. Growing up, I had a lot of it. Now I basically have none of it, and what we got here is something that's very well planned and great going on. I want to thank my teammates, Ben Baker, Matty Davis, Cut Friesen. They've been incredible, and I think we're going to put together a great run, and I think we have a great chance to win it. And I want to thank all the competitors. Everybody's been great, and everybody's been ready to go this year. So I think it's going to make for a magnificent field. Also want to thank the sponsors and everybody watching worldwide. There's nothing better than getting together in Shellman's Bluff, Georgia, going to Sapelo Hammock. I think in a couple of years, it's going to be us and the Masters, baby. So those are my thoughts, and that's what I love.
Well, Brian, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Safe travels down to the Bluff, and we'll see you next weekend.
Yeah, can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
Your boy's going to come back from 7 down against Gonzaga?
I'm watching. Yeah, I'm watching right now. I was a little distracted during the interview a little bit. But, I don't think – I mean, I'm a big Gonzaga basketball fan, as silly as that is. Yeah, so
West Coast guys.
This happens every year. I mean, I've been picking Gonzaga since I was in 6th grade to win it. Yeah, they played last year too, so I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I guess this is a no-lose for you then, huh?
I mean, I would much rather see Florida State pull it off.
Yeah, well, I would too. I picked them. So
Well, there you go.
to you, buddy.
I appreciate it, Butters. Have a good one.
Also,
Yeah.
congratulations to you.
Oh.
You got the baby coming.
Yeah, the baby's
Very
cooking.
excited for you.
The baby's cooking. So, no, I appreciate it, man.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, man. Well, have a good one, Butters.
All right, we'll see you down in the Bluff.
Yeah, buddy.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. You need that wiggle? Go get that piggy. McDonald's. I'm loving it. Zoller's Bar and Grill. Come on down to Zoller's. It's gonna be good. And welcome back to KJ Knows Best.
Hello?
Blake DiBartolo, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great, Corey. Thanks for having me on.
Absolute pleasure. Blake, I want to just start off right off the gate and get your, overall expectations, excitement level for the BMI 2019.
Well, this is the most anticipated tournament of our lives. The stakes just continue to rise every single year. Some of the things we got coming down the pipeline for this year are just remarkable. I think it's going to be, to me, it's a top weekend every year.
anything we do. And I think it's going to cement its place in that this year. No doubt about it.
And, you bring up it being the most anticipated weekend of all time. I know a lot of the listeners are a part of the Fantasy Football League and all that. Would you rather give up fantasy football or just the BMI?
Is that a real question?
Just a question.
I mean, I would never play fantasy football again for 5 more BMIs.
Love that. Love that dedication. You hear that, guys? KJ knows best first. You hear it from Blake DiBartola. Fuck fantasy football.
It's not close.
Love that. So, Blake, how does it feel to be the overwhelming favorite of the tournament this year?
Oh, I certainly don't feel that way. If anything, I think we're the underdog team. We really don't have any good players.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any good. We have Parker DuPont. He's probably our best player.
And, I'm glad you brought up Parker. How does it feel to have one masterminds group on your team?
It's huge. I mean, just the mental capacity, the emotional intelligence that our team has is just leaps and bounds over everyone. Parker has been providing our team with mental training exercises that we do daily. Sometime every other day, just depends on how busy it gets on the mattress firm during the shows. It depends how busy he is, but our team put it this way. There's not a doubt in my mind that our team is the most committed to the BMI as a whole. I know that for a fact.
Wow.
It'll be proven easily next week.
Wow. Breaking news on KJ Knows Best. There's something cooking on.
There's definitely something cooking with our team. We're very committed.
The Hidden Dragons are hiding something.
Very committed.
Love that. Well, Blake, winning it last year, I want you to take us back to the final hole and what you were thinking and how that experience was, and then also just take us right to the podium. Try to put together your words on that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play shot by shot for you. So we just came off a big birdie on 17. We knew we were down a stroke going into 17 and 18. And par threes are, no pun intended, but so hit or miss. You really got to stick it close to have a chance at birdie. But we knew we had a good birdie look at 18 coming up. So I actually put probably the closest shot I've ever had to hole in one on 17. I probably put it a foot and a half away. So easy birdie. So now we're rolling. We know a birdie wins, and a par, we go to overtime. I think overtime would have been against, I think it was Butter's team and Murphy's team.
Connor's team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was it Murphy or Connor? Murphy or Butters? Connor and who is the other team?
I believe it was Murphy and Connor.
Okay, yeah. I think Murphy's team was super hot on the back nine, 6 or 7 under. So we really didn't want to go to a playoff. We didn't think we had the best chance in a playoff. So we wanted to be aggressive, but at the same time, we didn't want to, put a couple in the water and put a lot of pressure on us. So we had a couple good drives out there. I think we played my drive, then mine or Dean's. And we were probably 2:15 out. We had, I think Dean put a hybrid. I think he put it right in the front right off the green to the front.
Yep.
I hit 4-iron. I think it almost hit the gallery there on the right. I don't remember where the rest of the team was. We played Dean's ball. We walked up there. It was a difficult chip. That green has a lot of undulations, and the pin was in the back. Eli went first. I think he fluffed his chip like 6 feet.
Yep.
Cam went next. I think he scolded his chip badly.
Yep.
And then Dean went third, and he hit a chip just not very well that probably had 30 feet left for birdie.
Correct.
And so I decided to pull up my putter, and I think I hit probably the best putt of my life. I mean, it didn't go in the hole, but it broke 6 times, it winded back, and it ended up, we probably had 8 9 feet, maybe 10 left for birdie to win the BMI. At that point, we switched our putting order up a little bit throughout the day. But Dean was our last. He's our best putter, so we put him last. We switched up who went first. By the end, I was comfortable going first. I thought I could hit the ball where we wanted to, and that way we could get a good read on it. And our strategy was for me to, if we read break, I would play it to the extreme side of the break. So if we thought it'd break between 2 to 5 inches, I'd play it 5 inches out, and then we'd adjust from there. So we read some right to left break on this one, and I played it about 2 balls out. Probably only broke about a half a ball. Eli came up next, dialed it in, drilled the putt in, and then it was just pure elation. I mean, the emotion, the pictures you see of us, that's real emotion. And we went over to the podium. The champagne was a lot of fun. I was telling Eli the other day how happy I was that I got the champagne, but at the same time, I feel bad. I think this year we need to make sure we have 4 bottles because spraying the champagne was so much fun. Like, it's what you see on TV when they win the championship in the locker. Like, that's what it felt like. It was amazing.
I just got goosebumps because
The funniest part about the BMI is that whenever you imagine winning these amazing championships, and you see TV and you see crowds go crazy, and we had, there was probably 20 people watching, 20 plus people watching.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that on TV the crowds are normally cheering for people that wins. When you win the BMI with a crowd of 20 people that you just beat, like, no one's really happy for you.
No.
It's a funny thing because your team is so happy, but everyone else is just like, oh, damn it, they won. Now we gotta listen to their bullshit all night. You're
absolutely right. Everyone started to walk away, and then we're like, well, let's not do that much. But good recap there. Obviously a moment that we'll never forget, but another moment we'll never forget from 2018 BMI is the start of your BMI.
Yeah, man, how can you forget about that?
I mean,
Shattered all expectations.
I was talking to someone earlier, and I said it was the maddest I've ever seen you, and the most concerned and apologetic I've ever seen Potter. And the mixture of those two things were such an electric memory in my mind.
I wonder, I don't think I'd ever hit Potter, but I wonder, who could have done it to where, I would have struck them.
I think if it was Parker.
Well, the fact that he was so apologetic, obviously, I
right.
wasn't gonna hit him. But,
of course.
If somebody would have done that and they weren't apologetic, I could see myself hitting someone.
Wow, that would have been bad. But not to harp on 2018. This is 2019. The past is the past. It's all about winning this year. I'm gonna ask you a question that I've been asking all the other captains. You're sitting there Friday night in your bed on the floor, wherever you rest your head, and you're thinking about Saturday night. Who's the team that you're circling the night before, saying if we could beat that team, I think our team has a great chance to walk away with the green jacket?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Murphy, Eli, and Frat, right? and Gary, right? Is that 4?
Yeah.
If we could just get ahead of them, you got to think that we're destined for greatness.
That's a first hot take here on KJ Knows Best.
You're telling me nobody's picked them yet?
Someone might have.
Team to be afraid of?
Butters picked all the teams.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Eli is a sandbagging son of a bitch.
Really?
I played with Eli. I played 9 holes with Eli last weekend, and he didn't keep score. Claimed he didn't keep score. I bet he shot a 42.
Jesus. You're kidding.
He's got new clubs.
He's got new clubs. Oh, my goodness. Murphy has the steal of the draft, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Murphy's good, too. We played Whitewater about 4 weeks ago, and the conditions were cold, wet, windy, and I shot a 51 on the front nine, and Murphy shot a 36.
Are you the
He beat me by 15 strokes on the front nine.
Are you the worst captain in BMI history?
Probably.
I mean, Hare is, but besides Hare.
Oh, I mean, every time Hare cards a score, it's lower than mine.
I mean, Hare uses his foot wedge more than his fucking sand wedge.
I'm not one to judge. I don't know that for a fact. I just know what people tell me they shoot and what I say I shoot.
I'm just fucking
I
around.
try to play by the rules.
Well, Blake, with your team, what's going to be without giving away too much, what's going to be your number one key to success with your team? What are you gonna be focusing on, leading into Saturday, talking to your team?
Yeah, I've been preaching now since we drafted. Just everyone, just work on your wedges. The better our wedge game, the best we'll be. I think our driver's going to be good. I'm very confident in my driver right now. Just got done playing 18 at Braylon. Hit the driver great. I played with Cam last weekend. His driver was going great as well. So we're going to have drives out there. And we're going to be 120 in on the majority of our holes. We just got to get those from 120 to within 10 feet, and then we can make some putts.
Right.
I'm worried about putting too. But that's the BMI. You got to get it close and make the putts. That's what the game's about.
Well, talk about your teammate Parker DuPont and his methods from out of the rough, close to the green, using the putter. What's your outlook on that?
Yeah, well, the thing with Parker is it's all about building the confidence. Parker, other people play golf. Parker attacks golf.
Yeah.
He just tries his hardest to get the ball in the hole by attacking the ball.
Yeah.
With one of two clubs. We all know which ones they are. Putter and the ping pal fairway. And if you're not familiar with it, it can bother you. But for me, I'm very comfortable with Parker's game. I know for a fact that he's going to end up making 2 or 3 or maybe more very big shots for us. He does it every time he plays. Now his other shots may be embarrassing, but that doesn't matter. It's a scramble.
Right. And, kind of shifting gears a little bit, getting off the golf portion, going back to Friday night, how competitive is your team going to be on the beer pong and flip cup tables?
Yeah, well, I haven't announced this to the team yet, but I figured I would wait for the show. Maybe they can hear it. Maybe I'll tell them. I don't know. I think we're going to stick with our drinking teams are going to be the same that our golf carts are going to be.
Love that.
So Cam and Diddy will be a drinking team, and me and Matho will be a drinking team.
That's smart. Yeah, no, build that golf cart.
Yeah, and Matho really likes drinking games.
Yeah.
He likes them a lot.
Yeah, he does.
So I'm really going to let him take the charge there. I mean, he's got the experience and he's got the passion there. So I'll let him do it. And we all know about Parker on the table. I mean, the kid plays defense like he's Gary Payton.
It's so true. It's so true. So say your team were to win in the beer pong and flip cup, whatever the championship is, to pick tee times. You don't have to give away your full, strategy, but what's one tee time that you're staying away from, and give us a little bit of your thought and process into the tee times.
I think from a mental perspective, I would like to avoid the first one. And that has nothing to do with coming first off the tee. To me, if you're the first guy, I think you have to put a good score out there.
Right.
And not that you can't, but it's different when if you're on hole 12 and you got 4 groups ahead of you, and you're like, oh man, like now's the time we got to pick it up, make it or break it, and you kind of have something to chase. You have a rabbit. If you're the first group and you're not doing well, and you've played more holes than someone else and they're beating you, that is when mentally it's just real tough to find the magic to keep going.
No, yeah, that's been the overwhelming response from all the captains. Stay away from that first tee time.
Yeah, which was, I don't know if you remember last year, my team lost. We got last place in the drinking competition.
Yep.
And Potter's team got second to last place.
Yep.
And Potter could either choose first or last, and he chose first.
Yeah, no, it's funny how that stuff works.
I mean, amazing. A dumb decision by Potter, which
Cost them the championship.
it seems like his decision-making skills are questionable as a captain.
I mean, I'm not one to point fingers, but maybe.
I don't know. It's like, do these guys even know what leadership is? It's embarrassing.
Well, Blake, I want to end with this question, and then we're going to give you a part to kind of summarize your thoughts. But, as being one of the dads of the BP, obviously we're without Kyle for the KJ Knows Best and BMI. What's some words of advice you could give to Kyle about fatherhood? That. Yeah, no, Pika gave his advice to Kyle as well. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm saying my advice will apply to Pika.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, perfect.
As
Perfect.
well as you, as well as Andy.
Yeah.
I think Parker.
Yeah, Parker's expecting.
That's right. I know that's not it. He's going to Jamaica with Beth right afterwards, and he thinks that he'll probably get pregnant there.
Jesus.
Advice. I don't know, man. Just roll with the punches. You can't really control what your kid does. You just kind of have to hope for the best. And I am a firm believer that even infant babies, like, they are fully aware of the energy and the vibe that you're putting out. So if you've got a nervous energy, I think it makes them nervous. If you've got a laid back energy, I think that they are more relaxed. I think they can just feel that. I don't know how to describe it. It sounds kind of dumb, but I think that's real.
No, yeah, I would actually 100% agree with that. So.
And here's a good thing too. There are a lot of really fucking stupid people that have children that they don't die. Like, you gotta, like, of all the people on Earth right now, like, of the fathers, like, we're in like the top 1 or 2% of like people that are capable of raising children. Just, like, don't fuck it up. It's really that easy.
That's incredible advice right there. Spoken like a 3-time father.
Yeah, I mean, just don't fuck it up. Just use your brain.
Just don't fuck it up. I love that advice. Well, Blake, like always, we appreciate your time, and I want you to kind of end it off with, your ending remarks about the BMI and all of that. So take it away.
Yeah, I mean, man, what a time. I'm just so excited. As of this recording, we're 8 days away. This is Thursday night right now. This time next week, I will be packing my bags. I will have gone and packed my cooler. It's kind of my tradition. The day before I leave for the BMI, I take all my golf clubs in my house.
Wow.
And I wash them all in the sink. And my wife tells me I'm an idiot and that they're dirty, and to get them out of her house, I wash them, and then I let them dry on the counter, and then I take them outside. I can't wait to do that. I love washing my golf clubs. I've got plans this week. This is kind of rambling here, but I've got plans this week. I think I'm going to go buy a brand new dozen golf balls.
Wow.
I'm only playing new balls. I mean, this is the BMI. This is when it matters. So, like, what's $40 for a dozen golf balls if you don't win? Like, you got to win. So I'm here to win. I'm playing new golf balls. If a ball looks scratched and it might affect the ball flight, I'm going to get a new one.
Yeah. No, and just an FYI, Walmart has some really nice clearance balls over there right now for $9. I bought a 24-pack of Nitros. Very nice balls. Would recommend those, Blake.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Would recommend. Well, Blake, I think I speak for the rest of the committee, or not committee, the participants, and saying thank you for your time. Please drive safe down to the Bluff, and we look forward to seeing you next weekend.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I really am very excited to see everyone, to get down to the Bluff to see Andy and Emily. Not that excited to see Lowercase. He kind of bothers me. He's really lazy. Like, he took so long to fill out some of those damn questionnaires. Just like, grow up, Lowercase. Time to grow up. I hope you listen to this. Grow up.
Thanks, Blake. We appreciate it. This podcast is brought to you by... Fuck it, we don't have any goddamn sponsors. What the fuck do you want me to say, people? It's a transition. We're gonna get to the next one. The next one's the last one. You don't have to listen to my fucking annoying voice anymore. Get the fuck over yourself. God damn it, get me down to the goddamn bluff. And welcome back to KJ Knows Best. Matt Sweat, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How you doing, sir?
Trip, I had a big day today, buddy.
What's that?
Do you want a secret that you would need to keep?
Yeah. What's up? Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you would be in on the secret with two other people.
Okay.
Who are gonna keep it.
Hello, you have reached Parker DuPont with Mattress Firm. I cannot come to the phone right now, but I will reach back out to you within 24 hours. If you would like to send me a text message, please do so. I can more than likely get to that quicker. Or send me an email, parker.dupont@mattressfirm.com. I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you.
Yo.
Matt Sweat, Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
Oh my God. I'm so nervous. I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing just fine. You know, Matt, we're doing something this year that's a little different. Just want to get one sentence, one random thought. Give us your expectations, your thoughts on the BMI 2019. Go.
The one thing that I think everyone's missing that I've never forgotten for 1 second is that in order to win a BMI, you've got to be able to conjure magic, real power. And any teams out there who think that they're just going to go and fucking win, hitting a bunch of shots without respecting the gods and getting the magic, don't have a fucking chance.
And that was Matt Sweat. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome, Corey. Yo.
Paul Vogel, Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today?
Oh, hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing just fine, Paul. Real quick, want to get your thoughts. One singular thought on BMI 2019. Go.
I mean, the competition, as always, is at an all-time high, and I know that the training and the excitement has been spectacular. So, I mean, I really just expect very low scores, and that's really about it.
And that was Paul Vogel. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Colin Elias, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
Oh my gosh, I am wonderful. How are you today?
Doing just fine, Colin. Real quick, want to get one thought, one aspiration, one singular sentence or structure of sentences about the BMI 2019. Go.
Wow. I mean, last year is going to be tough to beat, but all I can say and all I can hope for is that we have a competitive tournament and it comes down to the last hole. And, you know, all you can hope for is a good day and hopefully the best team wins. You know, I've been doing some number crunching over the last couple of days looking at our historical rounds. And I know you can talk about it later and I'll send it out, but based on what I am seeing, it's, of course, you know, there's some opportunities to score. If you look, there's only 3 holes playing above par, which the hardest hole on the course is hole number 15 with the scoring average of a 3.4 or 0.4 above par. So looking at it, you know, that long par 3 is, you know, could get you at any time. And then conversely, the easiest hole being hole number 5, where, you know, it's playing at a birdie at a 3.9. So, you know, just excited to get out there and see if these numbers hold up and hope for a good tournament.
And that was Colin Elias. Thank you so much, Colin.
Have a great day.
You as well.
Holy shit.
Joey Piazza, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you, sir? Well, we are doing something a little bit different this year. We are looking for one singular thought from each contestant about BMI 2019, and I'm going to tell you to go ahead and go.
One thought is excited, eager. Haven't seen a lot of you guys in a month or two. The homecoming of sorts. A lot of pressure. Feel a lot of pressure. Haven't swung a golf club in 3 months. But I'm just a natural gifted talent, so I know I'm going to show up.
And that was Joey Piazza. Thank you so much, Joey.
Thanks, and congratulations, Kyle. Happy for you. Corey Coleman, how are you, sir?
Sam Leon, Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today?
Wow, are we live right now?
We are live and ready to roll. Going to ask you one thing, Sam. Give us your one thought, your one overall feeling about the 2019 BMI. Go ahead and take over.
One thing about the BMI, I mean, first and foremost, last year was my first BMI. Didn't really know what to expect. So coming in this year with some experience under my belt, knowing the course, just being able to visualize some of the holes has really been a massive advantage for me in my preparation. I also am blessed to be on what I think is a championship caliber team. Didn't expect to be drafted as high as I did, so I got to give a special shout out to my captain and leader, Mark Harris. Major props to him for taking a chance on me, and I think it's going to pay off for him.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That was Sam Leon. Thank you so much, Sam.
Thanks, Corey. Mr. Coleman.
Matt White, Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing just fine. Matt, we're just looking for one thought on the upcoming BMI 2019. Go ahead and take it off.
I guess the one word I can think of is excitement. Most excited for the Champions Dinner. Really excited to see what's in the Low Country Boil. The aged cheddar and pepper soup sounds fantastic. And also, I guess I'm most excited to see how people recover from a full night of eggnog.
And that was Matt White. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you, guys.
You reached Joey Gasparic. Unfortunately, I can't take your call at this time, but just leave me a quick message and I'll get back to you. Thanks.
Sure, what up, baby?
Gary, Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today?
Oh, guys. Hey, is this real right now?
You're live.
Oh, my gosh. What's going on?
Not too much. Gary, just want to get one thought about the upcoming 2019 BMI. Go ahead and take it over.
Oh my gosh, can I take a shot first?
Please.
Okay, I got a fucking Jaeger bomb my name on it. I got to wait for it all day. Oh god. Tastes like Fergie and Jesus just fucked and I ate her vagina afterwards. So, 19 BMI. First of all, I don't know if you guys know, but sneakily behind the back, I've been making it my goal to be the steal of the draft. I've been hitting a lot of reps, and I don't know if they're ready, but guys, a Weeby Gary is coming back hot. Real hot. I've been playing a lot of nice courses. Oh my gosh, quarters. I played Sapelo last week, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know if we've ever played the Sapelo where the greens were as good as they are now. The greens are immaculate.
And that was Gary?
That was last week.
Oh, very good. Well, Gary, we appreciate your time. That was Gary Weintraub. Thank you so much, Gary.
Guys, love y'all. See y'all next week.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 770-856-6029 is not available.
Hello?
Scott, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today?
Good. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing just fine. Scott, just want to get one thought out of you about the upcoming 2019 BMI. Go ahead and take over.
Well, it'll be my first time to BMI. It's probably one of the highest honors of my life, but really I'm just ready to get down to the bluff and get wet.
And that was Scott. Thank you so much, Scott. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 678-787-0007 is not available.
Hello, you've reached Gordon Van Remen. Please leave your name and number, and I will call you back as soon as I can. Thank you.
Lowercase AD. This is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Maddie, give me one thought about the upcoming 2019 BMI. Go ahead and take over.
The upcoming BMI. It's hard to put it in one thought. I think it's going to be one of the most electric years. I think it's probably the fairest teams. I think with the three best guys playing from the blue tees is really going to change things up from last year and really add something to it. But other than that, I'm looking forward to a great fucking time with all you guys.
And that was Matt Davis. Thank you so much, Maddie.
Thanks, man.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 678-371-1922 is...
Hello?
Patty B, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing just fine, Pat. Just want to get one quick word from you about your anticipation for the 2019 BMI Classic. Go ahead and take over.
Oh, my God. I mean, the excitement within me is beyond anything I could express in words. I've been awaiting this opportunity for, I'd say, 2 years, putting a lot of iron to the ground, putting a lot of practice in, and it's a true honor. The next week is going to be electric. I don't know how I'll be able to concentrate at work. Yeah, it's exciting. I think we got a great team. I think, they're probably going to lead me a lot. I've never been part of something so intense, but yet so exciting. And I look forward to it. It's going to be a great experience.
Wonderful words from Patrick Bugera. Thank you so much, Pat.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 404-783-2660 is...
No.
Brian Risen, Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
I can't complain. Brian, we just want to get one thought of the upcoming 2019 BMI from you. Go ahead and take it over.
One thought on the tournament or one thought on my team? Or one thought on what?
One thought,
What I'm getting into.
just whatever you want to do, Mr. Risen. It's all up to you.
One thought. I think we are underrated.
The team
For
is
sure.
your team's underrated.
I think we're underrated. I think our chemistry has got to be some of the best in the field. I was talking to my captain Butters. I was to my captain last year. I've known Maddie forever. Me and Benny the Jet, Ben Baker have been playing a lot of Xbox lately. I think we have some of the best chemistry going for it.
And I've had a round 2 weekends ago with Maddie down there. Gonna have the practice round again coming up. Pretty excited about what we're doing over here.
And that was Brian Risen. Thank you so much, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Trip C.
Adam Sweat, Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
Oh my gosh, what an honor this is, and I'm an asshole. I just remembered that you texted me on Saturday, and I did not respond, and I had not even listened. I was day drinking, man, and was not paying attention to my phone.
Adam, no worries at all. Adam, the reason for this call is we're looking for one thought of your expectations for the upcoming.
Wait, am I being recorded right now? Can I just say that dumb shit being recorded?
You are live.
No, I'm not.
You are live.
Jesus, Corey. Okay. I'm focused now. I wish I would have said that.
Oh, it's fine. It's harmless. It's harmless.
Sure. So what you got, Corey Coleman?
Need one thought of your I can't even get myself together now. Need one thought on the 2019 BMI upcoming. Your expectations, your excitement, anything for the upcoming year.
Tell me something's a bigger deal than BMI than the 2019 BMI, and I'll call you a liar.
And that was Adam Sweat. Thank you so much, Adam. Ben Baker, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you, sir?
Hey there, Corey. How are you today?
Doing just fine. Ben, we're just looking for one thought on the upcoming 2019 BMI.
Listen, the first thing that comes to mind is I don't think the energy for the BMI has ever been higher. The buzz amongst all the lads is through the fucking roof. I can't wait. We're 1 week out. I can barely sit still at my desk at work. I really just want to get down there on the bluff and hang out with the lads and play a little golf.
And that was Ben Baker. Thank you so much, Ben. You said what?
I got a date coming up, and I was trying to get home from the office when you called me earlier.
Wow. So any other updates? Anything else going on?
Well, we just got official word from Gordon that we booked the BMI suite, primarily the 06ers.
Incredible.
You best believe the dark game is going to be played. Basically, all the lights get turned off, all the windows get blacked out.
Huh.
Everybody pops their shirts off, and then it's a fucking free-for-all.
Holy shit. The testosterone in that place is going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's all about stealth. Really, you got to be stealthy, and then you got to strike hard and fast.
If you could target one person in that room, who's it going to be, Bruce?
Wow, probably Mark Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Mark Harris would be my target.
Easy prey.
Easy prey. Very tall, very lanky, easy to break bones. Large target, easy to find in a room. People like Chris Pica, Brian Smith, very sneaky, very stealthy. You're definitely not gonna. They're probably gonna be the one to get you.
Right.
But I'd be the one to get Mark Harris.
Wow. Breaking news on KJ Knows Best. Watch your fucking back, Mark Harris. Joey Gasparic, welcome.
Hi, this is Joey Gasparic. Is this Trip C?
This is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
Hey, Corey, doing great, and love what you're doing with KJ Knows Best.
I can't thank you enough with that, Joey. Joey, we just really want to get one thought on the upcoming 2019 BMI from you. I know it's your first time, so go ahead and tell the listeners your thoughts and expectations of the upcoming tournament.
Well, Corey, I'm actually under NDA with the BMI for some other reasons, and I'm not sure how much I can actually tell you in order to make sure that I'm adhering to that NDA. But I will say that I'm very excited. I know that Team Mashed Taters, sponsored by excited to show everybody what we've got. I think what we're most excited about is to prove some of the haters wrong. But that's what helps us train is all the haters out there. When you got haters, you know you're doing something right. That's what we like to say whenever we practice. I would assume that all teams have the same practice regimen we have. We're doing four days a week, 6 nights a week. So we're on the 4-day, 6-night rotation. Things are looking good. Average drive distance for the group is hovering right around 307, which is disappointing. That's really the only setback we've had as we've shot for 315 average, which is more up my alley. But we're excited about what's coming up.
Well, you do know that Sapelo Hammock is a par 3 course, right?
We're not exactly worried about par because par is not where we're going to live. We're going to be getting birdies. So par 3, par 2, par 1, we're not worried about that.
And that was Joey Gasparic. Thank you so much, Joey.
Thank you, Trip. Hey, good luck to you. I know that a lot of teams out there are going to need it. Seeing the field, we're excited to show everybody what we've got.
Thank you again.
Hello.
Gordon Van Rimmen, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing a lot better now.
Gordy, the reason for this call is we are looking for your thoughts, expectations, any singular kind of thought about the 2019 BMI. Go ahead and take it over.
Well, I wasn't really expecting this, but I really have one major thought, and that is I guarantee victory. There is not a doubt in my mind. We got the best team. We had the best team last year, and we even got better. We lost the dead weight, for lack of an appropriate term. Adding Paulie was a huge asset, not only to our iron play, but to our putting. You and I are going to run this thing, man. I'm really, really glad that we decided to stick to a one-day tournament. There was a little debate, but this means we're going to have everyone in the field for a practice round, which I'm really, really excited about. Everything's coming together beautifully. I just got off the phone with the tent guy. We're going to have a absolutely historic BMI weekend, and quite frankly, I can't even stand it.
Wow. And those words are from Gordy Van Rimmen. Thank you so much, Gordy. Look forward to seeing you at the 2019 BMI. Thank you so much.
It's been an honor.
Christopher Pica, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you doing, sir?
What's up, man? Good. How are you doing?
Doing just fine. Pica, the reason for this call is we just want to get a quick thought from you about the upcoming 2019 BMI. Go ahead and take it over, sir.
Very excited. Definitely ready. I think I was one of the first people to actually pay my dues. I've had it marked on the calendar for a long time. Just had a baby, so let's see. I haven't been able to get out to a golf course. I don't really go to the gym right now, but I think these are all deceptively good things. You hear about everybody playing golf right now? Going out to these fancy country clubs. I'm out here grinding, putting in living rooms, going to the range, just going step by step out here. So we're definitely ready. We've got great team chemistry right now, so we're definitely ready.
I love that. And, Pica, I've only been asking one question to each of the participants, but with you, being a new dad, and, Kyle's not able to be here, obviously, because he's a new dad. What's the one piece of advice for Kyle? Since he, newborn, what's the one piece of advice that you've had in your short-term time as a father that you could give to him?
Sleep when you can. And zip up onesies are your friends. No buttons.
No buttons. Love that shit. I'm gonna get a onesie for myself down for the BMI just for that.
I think we all need to have them prepared.
Well, Pica, we appreciate your time. Get some sleep. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks, sir.
And we look forward to seeing you down on the bluff.
Yep, Godspeed. See you in the bluff.
See you, buddy.
Hello, you have reached Parker DuPont with Mattress Firm. I cannot come to the phone right now, but I will reach back out to you within 24 hours. If you would like to send me a text message, please do so. I can more than likely get to that quicker. Or send me an email, parker.dupont@mattressfirm.com. I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you.
At the tone.
Holy shit, it's not a drill. Parker DuPont, this is Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you doing today, sir?
Very well. Very wet.
Very wet.
What's up, bro?
Parker, we are calling you in reference to the 2019 BMI. We just want to get one thought from you on the upcoming tournament. Take it away.
God. I wonder how God wants me to perform. It's all from him. I went to the range yesterday. Whew, interesting. Came out hot. Somewhere in the middle, fizzled down, and then kind of left a little cold. Then went to the putting green and further reminded myself that it had been a while since I had a golf club in my hands. Golf is one of those things where you really need to keep those reps going, because you can let me put it this way. My wrist hurt right when I picked up a club. I say all these things because I want it to be even more impressive when I go to the bluff and help my team win the championship.
Wow. And that was Parker DuPont. Thank you so much, Parker.
You're welcome. Is KJ there with you?
KJ's not here with me.
Oh, man, I can't wait to hear that guy's voice.
Disappointing, huh?
No, not disappointing.
Shit.
I can be patient for love. I've been patient my whole life. I actually think it's the cornerstone of love is patience, intelligent patience, not just the. Am I still on the line?
Yeah, you're still online.
Yeah. Intelligent patience, kind, generous, deep patience. I mean, the guy is a father now. He just had I try to really be accurate with my tongue when I speak, because I like to be qualified to speak. I'm not qualified to speak on marriage. I'm not qualified to speak on having a baby. So to me, I have to shut down my biased thinking when it comes to that. Yeah, I'd like to hear from Kyle more. Is it disappointing that I don't? He can only do the best he's doing. I'm sure him and his wife are just killing it right now, and killing it in a way that they might not even at this very moment describe as killing it. But when they look back on it, reverse engineer the process, they'll be like, man, those were the best days of my life. So I'm ready to see him. I think I'm going to see him Sunday with you. So.
Breaking news on KJ Knows Best. Gonna get to see Parker this weekend.
All right, buddy. Take care. I'll be in there to mix up those tapes a little bit and get something out for the public.
Wow. One Masterminds group. Go ahead and plug your Instagram and what do you have in the books?
One Masterminds group, and I think it's just Parker DuPont. I don't know that there's an underscore in there. Pat Casey underscore Pat Casey underscore. You can push some followers into there. I'm here with Pat. The old Cat Casey is now Pat Casey underscore Pat Casey underscore. How many people we looking at here in this?
24.
Somewhere between 6 and 30.
Yeah.
All of which already follow all those accounts.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Could have new listeners.
You never know. We're one tape, one recording away from viral. So, yeah, that's it. You can catch me there, and catch me at the BMI here, Black and Mild Invitational, where champions go to further their legacy. All right. See you later, man.
See you, Diddy. Oh, gotta love him. Mark O'Leary, it's Corey Coleman with KJ Knows Best. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm outstanding. How are you?
Oh, doing just fine, Mark. Just calling you today in regards to the BMI 2019. Just want to get one thought from you on the upcoming tournament. Go ahead and take it away. The floor is yours.
Wow. Am I on the air right now?
You are live, sir.
Holy cow, this is incredible. I'm just cruising around at the airport in my Delta F-150 with the light on top.
Holy
shit. Doing my thing. But I'm honored to be on. I went out and purchased me some new golf clubs. Was a little skeptical about being picked by Team Hair at first because we all know he's a cocky motherfucker. But after thinking about it, I kind of like it. I'm really looking forward to getting after it. Obviously Bobby Cox, aka Joey G, is gonna be it's gonna be electric to play with him. I think we're also gonna sleep together if it all works out. And then obviously, Mr. Sam Leon, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table. I think we're the team to beat.
Wow.
I think we're the team to beat. I don't want to sound cocky, but we're going to be out there, ripping heaters, smashing drives. I mean, there's going to be a lot of crayon bots being smashed. It's going to be a great weekend, and I think you're going to see Hair bury about a 15-footer for the win on 18.
Wow. And that was Mark O'Leary. Thank you so much, Mark, for your input. Have a good day and see you on the bluff.
Hey, thanks